Hello, Mrs. Smoking Stack. How you doing, ma'am?
I love this name. I'm supposed to go back, but I don't know if I can. Um, I wanted to say that I can vent. The vent is that men know this and that they exploit
Okay.
women because of it. Um, the pay gap is real, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more attractive for men.
Damn, she got snitch. It is a terrible system, Summer. Y'all send heart me. If your name grayed out with me, you need to send a heart me. Go ahead.
Here we go. My voice, my volume was low. It's back now. I had to close some of my apps, some of my games. They're free. But yeah, I was going to say that men exploit um, this capitalism by forcing us into quote unquote better financial situations. The only thing is that when the data comes out over an extended period of time, 10, 20, 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
when we are partnering up, we aren't coming out better financially. So the numbers are saying that when we partner up, that we do lose money and we don't end up moving up another bracket
How we end up losing
financially.
money?
Um, they say that when we partner, right, it's supposed to be twice the income, right? So if it's supposed to be twice the income, then we should essentially move up a bracket. But the statistics that are coming out are saying that we are not in a financially better position after being in a marriage 10, 20, 15, 20 years. We're not. So I don't know what the disconnect is. If technically there's two incomes coming in, how we're
Mm-hmm.
still not making that leap. So it sounds good in the short term, but we don't have any long-term data to support that. So in the short term, yeah, it looks like you're paying half. If they're going 50-50 or what have you. But I don't know if just the women are taking the brunt of that because 50-50 doesn't match if you don't make exactly what he makes. So there's that part. Um, and then sometimes if you are the breadwinner as a woman, um, what 99% of them who make less than you come to you with a business idea on how to invest in them. That's the thing, right? Oh, I'm gonna get him his own truck. He about to be a trucking business. He want to open a business. So if you make more money, he's sitting around at work all day thinking about what business he can start to get you to invest in because it's our business.
Yeah,
He not sitting around telling you how you can start your own business with the money that you make. So that's a little bit strange too. That I'll see that, and some women, the men will tell me, "Yeah, my wife helped me start the business, or my wife is the one who set up this part of it, and she does the paperwork, she gets the loads, she gets the jobs, I do the driving, or what have you." But they don't tell you who invested and put their name on that truck. If she's the one with more income, and and she was able to sign for it because you didn't have the income to prove that you could get a $300,000 loan on that truck, then that's what it is. So I just think that that's a little different sometimes when you see the dynamic where the woman makes more and the man makes less, and then 10 years later, oh, we millionaires or what have you. But if she was making more, she most likely invested because she had the capital and she had the money to back the loan. It's
Yeah.
going to be rare. Like if you make, 25,000 and she make 80,000, you didn't sign for that loan. They didn't give you a $300,000 loan on that truck. Let's be real. Now
man.
that you got it, that's where it is. But I noticed that too. But I don't
It's
know
a
what the
relationship, man. You know what I'm saying? Relationship is a partnership. It like you know what I'm saying.
Go ahead. You finish.
No, but that's the part about the building. So that's what capitalism tells us. It's about building. They don't talk about the part where if a man comes in and he's making it, then he is not saying, "Hey, do you want to start your own company? I'm going to go ahead and invest in you." So I want to see more of those dynamics come out. Where if a man is saying he makes three times as much as you, that he gives you a check or he signs a loan over for you to start your own business, and then you're making the same amount as him. That's what I would like to see more of. But the way capitalism is set up, they'll have you having babies. Now
Communism.
you had to work for a couple of years or what have you, and it's not as even as you want it to be. Who is still talking? Oh my God, please, he needs some attention. Go ahead.
If she'll let me talk, she keep muting me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm being muted.
You was talking. You're not saying shit. Hold up. Now go
I'm
ahead and
listening to
land.
what
Sir. What the fuck is wrong with you? Calm down. I'm gonna drop you on mute again.
All
What
right.
you want?
But yeah, but that was it. It was just how capitalism will have us thinking that we're equal when it comes to the 50-50 thing, not acknowledging the pay gap if the woman makes less and then has to take time out if it's less start a family or what have you, her worth will continue to go down in the workplace and in the money that she's bringing in the house. So then that dynamic will start to change and that gap will get bigger within the home the longer that she's out taking care of kids. That's all I want to say. That's how it continues to force us in that relationship because we're losing ground economically, educationally, if we were in school or just in the workplace. But I land.
Thank you for explaining that. That's crazy. Cause like women don't get credit for all the background work that they do, and it's like, yeah, he's just gonna say this is my accomplishment and this what I had, but you don't know who the hell was in the background. That's a good point. Um,
But what is better than capitalism? I need to I'm trying to
Linus,
figure out.
why did you keep trying to cut her off?
She's done talking, so I wasn't trying to cut her
I
off.
don't know what's wrong with you though. Why you keep trying to cut her off?
I'm not trying to cut her off. I was just saying something when she said something.
Why not just wait your turn? Why just keep unmuting?
Well, I just waited, and now it's my turn apparently. So I'm just trying to see what is better than capitalism.
You're not You don't understand the different economic structures.
I do understand them, but I believe that capitalism is the best.
What's the alternative?
There's a lot of alternatives, but communism is like damn near the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? We got socialism.
What is it? What are those? Explain what those are.
Explain what they are. Do you
Hmm.
not know what they are?
We having a conversation. Explain to me what's the upside of
I know we
capitalism.
having a conversation, but do you not know what those are? Like, I'm confused why you want me to explain them.
Do you know what they are?
Yeah, do you know what they are?
Explain it.
Why do you want me to explain it?
Because you're claiming that one is better than the other.
Yeah,
So what's better about it? You haven't said anything.
I'll tell you what's better about capitalism. The fact that I can privately own a business and nobody can tell me what to do in my business. That is the best part, and I can own the means of my own production and do with it what I see fit.
You're never going to own the means of production, sir.
That's not true. If you own a business, you own the means of production. So I
No.
don't know what you're talking about.
You talking about people have access to raw materials? No. That's not how
I
that
mean, it
works.
depends on what business you're in, but
Well, do you know? Hold up, pause, because you don't know the difference, but that's fine. Do you know that capitalism is directly tied to like the prison industrial complex and slavery, and exploitation and things
no,
like
it's
that?
not because prisons
No,
are in every economy.
no. Our
Yes.
prison system is a business, though.
Yeah, but prisons are in every economy, so that's not just a capitalist thing. That's in
No, but
every economy.
but what percentage of the population is in prison?
I don't know.
I'm just saying you're so sure of it. Everybody got prisons, but our prisons in in the U.S. is a business.
And other economies have prisons, so it's not just a capitalist thing. Is all I'm saying. Like, yes, it is a business. I agree on that, but this is not just a capitalist thing that prisons are a thing because prisons are all around the world. So
You're missing
that
the whole point. It's not the fact that people are in prison. It's that prisons are in like the amount of people in prisons a lot there because they use prisons to produce materials and for labor.
right, they do that in other countries too. So it's kind of the same thing. They do that a lot in other countries.
What about slavery, sir?
You said what?
Slavery.
Slavery. What about slavery?
Slavery capitalism causes slavery.
Slavery has happened all over the world too, outside of capitalist societies. In Rome, there were slaves. That was not a capitalist society. Rome slaves has been around since the dawn of history.
What kind
So
of society did Rome have?
what kind of they had
What kind of
kings.
economy?
They were a monarchy.
What kind of economy did they have?
A monarchy. It was the
No, no.
the Only the few had power. That would be a dictatorship or a communism or a dictator communism. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. What's up, Sagittarius? Oh,
Hey, so yeah, capitalism is forcing women to be into relationships, but also other countries are following suit. So this picture I have in my background is
let me make
the
it big. I can't read it.
okay. So this is the president from how you say it, Burkina Faso. He's
Mm-hmm.
making childbirth free at public hospitals, but what he also did was ban ABs and ban homosexuality. So like childbirth should definitely be free, but also I see it as a way for
he bending the
men.
homos is crazy.
Anyway, I see it as a way for men to trap women again, like they're dangling a carrot to make us, want to be in marriage because like childbirth should definitely be free. We're like birthing humans,
Yeah, but to
right?
get rid of ABs is crazy.
Yep, and homosexuality.
I
So
think
birthing
that's great
both are
things. That's
illegal.
a great thing. That's a
Right,
Sir,
great
then
can
thing.
you
thanks
shut
for
up? It
referencing.
was my turn, and I'm at my mama house. I can't cuss you out how I want to, but shut up.
I'm just
Well, she cut
asking.
me
You're
off. You know
not
what I'm
adding
saying?
nothing to the
I was still
I
talking.
conversation.
didn't cut you off. This is a panel. We're going in order. You need to have some
I
decorum
was doing my
on the
point.
Lord's day.
Might is. Hold up. That's because I don't feel like this shit. We gonna do one at a time. Then we do open panel. You come off of mute again, Midas. That mean you don't want to be up here. You need to be patient, sir. Like I know you want attention, but mute up and let everybody get introduced to the
I was still
conversation.
saying my point though. I don't know why you cut me off and start asking her questions when I was still on my point.
Go ahead, Sage.
Yeah, but it's like dangling a carrot. Like this is what you get because in it's specifically for poor women because it's public hospitals, right? But yeah, it's just their way of like trapping women again and making us have more babies. And yeah, that's just it.
That's crazy. Thank you. Fuck him for that. What's up, Terrain?
What's up, Tara? How you feeling?
I'm good. What's this chart? Y'all got pictures and shit today. What's going on?
So the thing with capitalism is the good thing is people do have opportunity to do what they want to do, but the bad thing is like Dark Horse says, what has happened over the last 10, 20, 30, and so forth years where people are oppressed by it and it's not as equal as people think that it is. Only a small percentage of people hold all the power and it allows them to walk over, to manipulate, to control other people. And go on to the topic, the prompt, it does force women to have to be into relationships because they don't really have the opportunity that is how do you say it, promoted that they have, and they don't have a choice but to be with men a lot of times in order to just survive because of the inequality of money, resources, everything else that comes. So that's why when I send the comments, I used to be all for it because I used to look at it as, hey, I get a chance to do, really build and become something. But when you look at the bigger picture as far as what's happening with everybody else, more people are losing than people are winning.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I think a lot of times people support capitalism because that's all they know. Like you live in a society and you're told if you work hard enough, right? You work make the right connections. The possibilities are endless, but like that's not the way it works. And a lot of people it blur the lines and make you think that we don't have this class system where people are essentially stuck in certain classes, the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie. Like a lot of people don't understand that. What's that guy who said that poor people are temporary embarrassed billionaires or some shit like that? Like this motherfucker talking about um means of production. In order to have means, you need access to raw materials. Unless you have like generational wealth, there's no you don't have access to raw materials. That's not going to happen. I don't care what kind of business you open. That's just not happening. It's interesting. Yeah, middle class is shrinking. Ain't no middle class. You either have or you don't. Simple as that.
Tara, I was going to say too, they want to ignore slavery, but that was a 400-year head start. And the Head Start was also a free Head Start. So that means land and everything else, production and businesses was started with zero investment. It was pure profit for 400 years. So-called charge. Got all of that off of free labor, got lands for free. So you got to imagine generation after generation getting 100% pure profit, buying everything up, and then they're going to start selling it to everyone else. So we don't have a zero start. We have to start buying right from the beginning. Renting, buying stuff. No one just gave us land. No one gave us a business, and there was no pure profit. So the gap for us to catch up is ridiculous. And it's unachievable because of the laws that were put in place to protect these people with their raw products, these people who own Ford, these people who own, resources and land and water or what have you. They have it where you can't get it. You have to pay for it, and you're paying for something that they did not pay to get. It is crazy. I can't understand how people don't understand how capitalism works. No one worked hard for shit. They were given it, and it's easy to say you're working for it. You're working to keep it. You're working to keep the money that's been handed down, family or generation after generation in your family. But absolutely, you didn't work to get it. We worked to get it. The people who look like us worked for it and got $0 out of it. That's why when someone talks about reparations, it's crazy. That's what it is. And we're forced now because we're in a destitute and desperate situation where we have to partner up and link up just to survive. It's not to climb the ladder. That's just basic survival. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I
I
think
love
that's that's the point of me making this prompt because it's like we keep talking about because one of the men like the fearmonger, one of the talking points is, well, if you're not in a relationship, you're not gonna be to save enough money for retirement, whatever. And it's like if I work my entire life, why can't I have access to retirement? And yeah, of course you're like desperate to be with somebody, but this idea that like I can't live on my own as an older person unless I pay out with a person. It shows that like we're being forced into certain like so many of our behaviors we think are just organic, and we've been forced into certain behaviors. Because there are people who want to leave their living situation, but they can't. They literally can't. What's up, Alex?
'em. I want to say this too. When you talk about slavery, modern day
Hey,
slavery
sorry, I'm
was
driving.
predicted
So
and
Hold on, wait,
developed.
Alex. Hold up, Alex. You took too long. What is going?
Yeah, modern day slavery was predicted and it was very much intentional. Something Rockefeller said, someone that's controlled damn near everything. He said, "I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than to have 100% of my own."
Oh,
So
nigga
he
don't hate
predicted
me because
having
I'm beautiful.
people. Damn. He predicted having people at the bottom in order to be forced to do this labor and to force to struggle just so that the people at the top can still survive.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alex. 5 minutes is crazy.
Yeah, 5 minutes is forever on a live. Everybody be gone and back to another live. But I wanted to say wanted to say that when you're looking at the dynamic about forcing it too, is not just women or what have you. There are men who want to partner up as well because they know the financial benefit. So if they understand the financial benefit, they're going to say, "Yeah, if we get together, we can do this." He's saying, "Me too." It's not a
He
we thing. He
driving. Make him
understands,
small.
huh?
Now I say he driving. Y'all gotta make him small.
Oh yeah, you can't be driving on the live. They'll kick you or do something to the live if they see you moving. But or green screen your back, do something, sir. But I wanted to say too, if you understand that the men need that as well, you understand that we're all at the bottom, right? We're all at the same economic bracket, and that's why are saying, "Let's partner up, let's build a life." They're not going to say, "I'm going to build out on my own," and then invite you over once it's done. They understand that they need you just as much. and we're interdependent way more, which is why a lot of women will push back when someone's trying to say, is leadership, is my dream, follow me, but you need my investment. For you to invest in that company, you need me to go 50-50 so you can save, or you need me to invest in it too, because we are in the same economic bracket. And it's weird to make it seem like you're up here and I'm down here, when actually 80% of us are living, and it is 50-50. We are making the same thing, give or take a few $1,000s a year. We're in that bracket together. And if you understand that the system is making it so we have to be together, you'll get it, especially if there are children involved. Make your only hope, your only hope sometimes to stay single is to stay without kids. And then maybe 2 or 3 jobs later, you can just take care of yourself. But with kids, absolutely, which is why if a child, excuse me, if someone has a kid and there's no other person involved, you need the government's help, because you seriously cannot take care of a child on your own if you're in a certain economic bracket. You cannot. It's not enough money, which is why it's so big when men leave the home. Yeah, we need that money. We needed the money just for the two of us to live comfortably. How do you think it's going to work when it's a single person with a child? It's not going to be easy unless they're pushing 100K. That's where you need to start at to have a kid on your own. But anyway, I wanted to say that part. Let me go back on mute.
Yeah, children make it way more difficult because there's so much that goes into raising a child, and I just a lot of people think basic necessities, but what about the extracurriculars and the like the other essential? And it's like, man, y'all, this fucking system need your kids. Like, not only do they need the kids, they want to force you to have children, and then once you have the children, they're like, well, you on your own, which I don't make no goddamn sense. I think it's real interesting when people complain about like mothers who get like government assistance, like I'm paying the taxes, like you do know when you fucking old, somebody has to be there to support you. And it's interesting how we don't see how that come full circle.
I missed it. Who was at the door? Did they withdraw their request?
That was sad. She might have pushed the button by mistake.
No, okay. I didn't get it in time. But I wanted to say too, if you see that there's an imbalance like in the workforce, and you're struggling already in the workforce, just to survive on your own before you partner up with someone else, that's an important conversation to have with someone before you guys combine efforts, right? You need to combine efforts and realize, if I wasn't doing well by myself and I'm making bare minimum, I'm check to check, and we come together, we still need to recognize that this system believes or isn't or telling us that we have to save for our own retirement when we don't make enough for day-to-day living. So if y'all don't see the contradiction with someone saying also save enough for your own retirement when you don't have enough to make sure that you can save, what do you call it, 3 months worth of living expenses, you don't have what it takes to even bring forth more life in it. You guys are still in a bracket, which is why capitalism is the problem. Because as Tara said, if you work 40 hours a week, I don't care what you do. If you work 40 hours a week for 50 years, when you're 65, you should be able to retire because you worked, period. And the way this capitalism is set up, it matters what you do and how much you make on what your retirement is going to look like. Even though that person at the top of the food chain worked the same 40 hours that you do, knowing that we are interdependent. This system runs because someone is passing out your mail, because someone is mopping the floors wherever you're going to shop or work or live. All of us are important. And if there was equality, meaning everyone who worked has the same value, then that would make a difference. It would make that imbalance, excuse me, it would make it possible for people who did put into this system and who did pay in and pay their taxes and did this for all these years is able to retire. But they have people who are unalive and on the job and people who don't even make it to see retirement. That's what they're depending on. They don't want to pay you Social Security. They don't want to have to even access your retirement. They want to make sure that you don't make it that far. And that's the real gag right there when it comes to capitalism.
Yeah, that's so true. And the interesting thing is, it's not just that the money isn't there; it's being stolen. Like the finances is like you look at your check, like they take the money out. They're like it's not enough, and people are like, well, damn. That's because like this shit that just happened with the with Doge or whatever, moving stuff around, canceling contract, and this bill they have essentially cutting down Medicaid and stuff. It's like it's very possible. There's enough people that it's possible. It's just been stealing. And that shit crazy. You gonna steal my money and then tell me I gotta be with somebody in order to solve is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my biggest conspiracy theory. My biggest conspiracy theory is that real dollars go into the market for investing. Real dollars do, right? But then they'll tell you that it's dropped and now the money not there no more. Where the fuck that real money go? It was real money that went in, not fucking monopoly money. But oh, the Dow went down, this went down, all these investments went down. Where did the fucking real money go that we put in there from the beginning? No one can answer that question for me. They're just gonna say the value is less. Okay, cool. It ain't worth $10 and was worth five. Where was the original fucking funds that we put in there? Soon as somebody can answer that question for me, I will get off of this fucking soapbox, but I will stand on it for the rest of my life. But if you put in here and you save for 60 years or 6%, you'll have this. That is all good. If they tell me the market crashed though and it disappears, where the fuck did my money go? Where'd it go?
Mm.
Dream, you the money man. Tell me where my fucking money go.
Back to the top.
They took his shit.
Yeah, it's just going straight back to the top.
Are y'all familiar with what they've been doing with the tariffs? Major companies like famous people basically.
Amazon.
I figured, people got money selling their stocks high, and then they implement the tariffs. Money selling their stocks high, and then they implement the tariffs, and the value goes down. They buy all the stocks up. When they
Hmm.
cancel them, and I'm like, this shit is crazy.
Hmm. And now um, producers are putting the
Ring with my
tariffs when
money.
you check out. Ream with my money's. I did say Ream. I'm sorry to Ream. I should put you on blast. Because I understand the investments, and I have some low level investments, or what have you. Because if it works out great, they're not gonna let me get rich though, right? So that's my children's retirement plan is what I have. That's what I'm invested in for them. So if it works out great, but they're not gonna let my daughters get rich, they're not gonna let me hit 75% interest on that and quadruple their money in a year. It's gonna be continue. They're gonna continue to give me like drops, little teeny tiny drops in a bucket. But me blowing up overnight is not how it's designed to work. And we may not get the original investment that they project. When they sell you the policy, they go, "This is how much you put in per month. This is what you'll have in 20 years at this basic, blah 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 blah." And all of this is still depending on this company staying solvent. We don't talk about companies who so-called go bankrupt. And when they're insolvent, now everything is gone. Again, no one's talking about that. No one's talking about that. Tara mentioned it. Someone's getting it, and that's called stealing. It's called effing stealing. And trust me, believe on a corporate level, it is rampant. It is rampant as fuck. So if y'all see that the problem is investing in corporations who are bigger than us instead of in ourselves, if we had a expectation to maybe live closer to what our needs are versus our wants, we may be able to sustain ourselves and live on a basic level where needs are met and not continue to make the biggest people richer looking for this big old pot of gold at the end of me working 40 or 50 years. That's not how it's set up to do. They're set up to suck all the life out of you and hoping you don't get to the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, because that's part of like them cutting Medicaid. Essentially, it's like people who can't afford their own medical expenses, especially in older age. You're not likely to live very long if you can't get the care that you need. Which is it's like, oh, you can't work no more, you can't earn anymore. No, we're not gonna take care of you. It's about time you going head on out because it's done. Um, my question is to y'all: how do y'all think the rhetoric would change if we had maybe like a more socialist society or something like that when it comes to like these relationships?
I think that people will be able to choose their relationships based off of more of a desire and a want, as opposed to people being in relationships for a need to. So it'd be more of a strive as opposed to survive mentality.
Yeah, because when you listen to the talking points around these relationships, so much of it is financial, and I wonder if people realize that, like, you're saying that, hey, you need somebody to help pay these bills and stuff like that. Are we realizing what we're saying? Like, oh, the system's set up so that you can't just go to work and pay your take care of yourself and have time for leisure. No, no, no. You're going to be trying to do twice the work. You need to get somebody so you don't have to work so hard. And the interesting thing about that is, technically, if the benefit's supposed to be the relationship, then shit, fuck 50-50 or whatever. I should be able to work 20 hours a week. I shouldn't have to work full time if I'm in a relationship. And I know, like, I'm not saying like I know the selling point is like, or what, he working, you stay home. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about y'all both work, but y'all only got to work part time now because it's two incomes coming in. But we don't even see that. And like Darkos was saying earlier, it's like, no, there's other expenses. You got to live in a bigger home. Yeah, if you have a family in a suburban area, you got to get a bigger car for the kids. The other expenses is like, it even still, that doesn't protect you either. You just got somebody else there with you.
People will have more individual fulfillment too, which would better affect relationships because now because of the society that we live in, most of people's time is spent just trying to work, and the little time that people have not working is just for them to rest, to if from the work that they're doing. You wouldn't have so many people, how you said, unaliving themselves so soon and so early and every single day, just pushing themselves, just trying to eat food and just trying to pay their rent. So people will be able to be more fulfilled because now their time and energy will be able to go to the relationships that they want to, or just themselves, or just things that they just much rather do, whatever that is for them, not for them to try to really just get by so hard and just to be with someone just so y'all can get by that you don't even really want to be with.
Yeah. It also remind me of like what's that? So right now we have like the gig culture, but hustle culture. I remember when my Facebook days, I used to say that all the time. People like, oh, I work like 20 hours overtime. My check gonna be good and all that stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, the goal isn't to work more hours. The goal is to get more money and have some downtime. Who the fuck want to be working all the damn time?
Yeah, and men too. They're they're the sole provider. It's not off of a 40-hour work week. It's not, right? He's like, I work 12 hours. Everybody on TikTok works 12 hours. Some of them 18 if you let them tell it. But they're they're working so many hours just to say that I'm the provider. Thank you, Kilani. She's saying the same thing, working 6 days. Like we work so much. So it's not that we're just doing it and we're getting paid enough to live off a 40-hour work week. It's not, absolutely not. And if this man is saying I'm the sole provider, but I'm working 60 to 75 hours a week or what have you, that's his life force going too. I don't know how long you expect to have him around working those kind of hours, but he ain't gonna be here forever. Miss stay at home. And then some of the stay at home moms, they're still working side hustles. They're making jewelry, they're selling stuff, they got a part-time job. If you guys broke down the numbers and people let you into their houses and their lives, you would realize how many hours people are having to work to sustain a family, so called. And then too, like you mentioned, Tara, bigger house, bigger vehicle. Guess what that means? Now you're locked in. And that's what capitalism does. It locks you into a certain lifestyle where y'all couldn't leave it if you wanted to. You have notes, you have loans or what have you. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna garnish your check. You have to pay it. So you're locked in. You can't just go, this ain't working for me anymore. Let's downsize and go to something halfway. How? That's a mortgage. You got to sell that. Are you going to lose? What's the market look like? Are you going to have anything left over? Are you upside down on it? Same thing for your vehicles. Like there's a big money piece that's missing that you are literally locked in with a person and with companies and contracts for all the things that you need, like housing and transportation. Those are things that you need. So you are locked in whether you want to or not, no matter how you feel about your partner in it. It's disgusting.
The bad thing about that too is, it's not good to be into relationships with people that aren't happy and aren't fulfilled themselves. Those men aren't happy. They're working those hours, those 60, 80-hour weeks because of their pride, ego, because it's socially accepted. But most of them on the inside, they aren't happy with all they're doing. They're stressed the hell out. And now they're bringing that shit home to their wife and to their kids and, whoever else that, is benefiting from that. So that's also another thing on this as far as the internal aspect that it's not good and it's not healthy.
Did y'all see the Black Mirror episode Calming People? Did y'all watch that?
I never got a chance to watch Black Mirror.
Alright, fuck it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, like you talking about being locked in dark. It's like here's the thing. You gotta pay all this money. Like 30 years is a long considering other places, like people just buy their properties outright and expenses aren't that high. Especially in like where I'm from in the DMV, like you can't even own the land, right? You own the property, but you don't own the land. It's fucking crazy. And it's like, because you gotta pay the property taxes and all that, whatever. But it's it's just interesting because it's like it's set up the way they got it set up is like it makes sense that oh I'm just going to work into this age, I'm going to go to this age and retire. And the thing is if your mindset is work, grind, struggle, whatever, this idea that you just going to get to a certain age and you're going to know how to relax, no, because it's a mental thing too. Like I remember at the end of the semester when I was in college, you used to have that uncomfortable feeling like I'm supposed to be doing something, I should be doing something, and then I'm like I can't sit the fuck down. So it's like we have this illusion that oh we're gonna work to a certain age and then everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna relax. We're gonna vacation. That's not the case. You got old people because they got what gig culture now. Like you got these older people still working. There is no fucking rest.
And I wonder if that plays into the relationship dynamics too. If one person is resting or what have you, or what they consider rest. If one person isn't working as hard as the other, that's where this imbalance comes in the relationship. Like you get to be king or what have you, just if you're the person who's out there working. But this culture has pushed that that's where your value is. Your value is only in working. So of course you're going to see your partner or what have you who isn't out here in this capitalistic world working as less. You're going to see anything they do as less than, and it shouldn't be paid or what have you. Even though if you had to hire someone to do what they do, you couldn't afford it. You can't afford your stay at home person. I tell people that all the time. You can't afford her. How much would it cost for a cook and a maid? Let's not talk about a surrogate because she birth your baby for free. You don't have the funds for what you think you do. So the way you look down on someone who provides you labor that you could never afford is crazy work. Crazy work. So that dynamic right there lets you know that we're all programmed. That this is the only value is if you're out here in these capitalistic streets making these bigger companies richer.
I got another scary
Quick
thing for you too.
question, Tara.
Oh, go ahead.
You mentioned Black Mirror. I watched Black Mirror. Which was that the last season, episode one?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what instantly came to my mind. Can you bring up the point that you were making about that episode?
Oh, how like once they had, I'm gonna try to not spoil it too much, but once they had a medical expense, how much they had to work to make up for it. So it wasn't like, oh, you get sick, you feel better, it's fine. It's like, no, you get sick, you feel better, and now here's the bill, and you gotta pay this bill. And it's like, well, how the fuck? Like it's more stress on top of everything. But don't get sick
Right.
again. So it's like we have this tendency of thinking like none of it want to happen to us. Like I don't know why, but a lot of, especially when you're younger, you feel like no, I'm not gonna be sick, I'm gonna be good. But the reality come in when you get older, and it's like those medical expenses, not only do you have to pay them, it could put you down. Like you can't work,
Mm-hmm.
so you have long term disability. Do you understand that even if you are on long term disability, you're not going to earn the same amount of money? But what happens if you have loans you're still paying off? You at year 20, 28, 27, 28, and now your property is in foreclosure because you can't pay the fucking bill. It's just not sustainable. Does that make sense?
Right. And realistically, these pharmaceutical companies don't want you to heal because that's big money for them. I'm a caregiver, and in some countries, not many, uh, if a person is diagnosed with dementia, they can go with like an honorable DATH. I don't know if I can say that word on here, so I just yeah.
Euthanasia.
Okay, huh?
Isn't that euthanasia?
Yeah, they can go with that. But here in America, and it's not many countries that do that, maybe like three or four. But here and in other countries, they keep them alive because it's a lot of money for the pharmaceutical companies, for the doctors, for the caregiving industry. And then not only that, caregivers are being exploited. Like some of these companies are low key sex trafficking rings that are exploiting women, especially black women, to these men who want to sexually harass them.
Yeah, I can see that. But that's the problem. It's like we live in a system that value your dollars and does you as a person. Um,
Hmm.
which is crazy because like that impacts all about all humanity. And I know like a lot of times we say, well, the people with the money. But the part of it also is, what about you? Like, a lot of people you think is, oh, this is a great person. If given the opportunity, if they had the opportunity to be like, hey, you participate in such and such activity or whatever, you set for life, that person would sell you too. Like,
Hmm.
and that's the fucked up part. And that's why, like, we have to remember that the system we live in, nobody living today created the system. It was already in place when we all got here. And it's like, it just keep going and going. But, like, it impacts all of us. And that's crazy. I could see that happening.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why I believe that women need to stick together. They should, instead of competing for men and fighting over them, because I do believe if women stuck together, like how the Golden Girls were or the designer women, if they got together and put their resources together, they wouldn't have to work as hard and they would be able to protect each other.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
that's all I wanted to say.
No, and it's like some of these motherfuckers, like, they pay attention to the law because I think they was talking about some law that's been on the books since the 1800s or something. Essentially, like, if women decide in mass we want to live amongst each other, these motherfuckers will have a law and say you can't live with women, and that's fucking crazy. And like over time,
Virginia.
yeah, over time you get desensitized to it, but it's like, what the fuck? You tell me I can't live with another woman is crazy.
That is scary.
Virginia still has it on the books. They ain't voted it down. I gotta go state by state. But some states still have it on the books. But it is for when women started to, they claimed it was behind brothels. That's not what it was. But they didn't want women even running brothels because it was a madam, right? Taking care of women. So it was a different level of care, right, and protection. And it insulated these women from certain types of abuse and exploitation. So if they wanted to say, hey, yeah, if I have to sleep with a man, this is how I'm going to do it. They're like, no, I need you to sleep with him for free, be at his house cooking and cleaning, blah, blah, blah. He needs that benefit. That's what he needs. He needs that free labor. So that's why brothels were so unpopular. But they still have laws on the books where we can't live as roommates, you know, kind of saying single women linking up was a problem because again you're surrounding yourself with people who value you, and men are saying, well, you guys don't want us, blah blah blah. And it's not that. Is that if you see me as less than human and you don't see me as a person with my own autonomy, then yeah, that's why we're going to stay with other women. That's what it is. It's your ideals and what you uphold and how you treat us is pushing us into roommate situations, or like I think Kaylani said, wanting to live in a commune. What we're looking for is this community where we're respected and we're treated fairly. We don't have to worry about someone trying to, abuse and use us for our resources. It's nothing wrong when your resources go back into your community and everyone's contributing the same, right? But that uneven dynamic is what's driving women out. Plenty of women will tell you they're attracted to men, but what they're not attracted to is the treatment and what comes out of that. So I think they're going to keep these laws on the book, maybe reactivate them, maybe revamp them, because some laws have been passed since then about like same-sex marriages, other things. So they're going to bring them back to life if we continue to separate ourselves more and more. Trust me, it's coming.
It's a real Handmaid's Tale nightmare out here. So, do you think that they'll be able to take back the same sex marriage law because of women coming together? And I also want to know, do you believe that a lot of women, due to religion, had heterosexuality be into them because I'm a lesbian woman and I have had a lot of married women and bisexual, well, not bisexual, but bi-curious women come to me wanting to experience me. And the weird thing is they're mean to me and they'll bully me first. And I find out that they're curious. They want
So
a
it's
piece.
so it's not just women, right? Because so heteronormativity is a thing. People talk about the GAY agenda, but there is definitely a straight agenda. So it's like when people have this idea what their life's supposed to be, like it's geared around being this monogamous relationship with one other partner, and it's because like yeah that's been pushed on you, but I don't know if you're familiar with the Kinsey scale, but essentially it says only about
No,
10.
I'm not. Explain that to me.
You can look up the Kinsey scale as a spectrum, essentially saying that about 10% of the population is strictly heterosexual and about 10% is strictly homosexual. And everybody else is somewhere in the middle. Like it's a spectrum. But we have this tendency of thinking that, oh, most people are straight and a few people are gay, and it's actually not the case. It's way more fluid. And even this idea that you pay along on one person for life is something that's been pushed on us. There's a lot of things that we've been told is like because we have to understand as human beings in this system, we're being the Kinsey scale. We're being domesticated. That's what's happening. Like when you domesticate an animal, you want it to look a certain way, it behaves a certain way. It's what's happening to us. So it's like, yeah, you're supposed to have these certain behaviors, this is accepted, this is not. This is why like for men definitely like homophobia is a big thing with them because like and this would also causes a lot of men to be violent because he's suppressing part of himself. So like yeah like there's a lot of people who are like feel that they are one thing and it's way more fluid than that.
Right. Did you see that Black Mirror episode, episode 3 with Issa Rae?
Hmm.
That was my favorite out of all of them. I said that's a dream come true, especially if it was just like a bunch of women stuck in that world. They don't have to work. They don't have to put up with any abuse from anyone.
Yeah, it's just yeah, but that's the whole point of what I'm saying today is like a lot of the things we like, a lot of the violence, a lot of the like thing is the things we try to avoid is because of the bigger issues going on around us, right? People stressed out. Like one of the reasons why I like the reference Nosedive, and I don't know if you're familiar. That's like one of the earlier seasons. Essentially, like having to play nice all day, and then at the end, being going to prison, you see, the main character and someone else like in the prison yelling at each other, and then you can tell like in the whole episode that's when they felt freest, right? So like you'll have people who decompress by like yelling people online, that's more productive than doing it in person. But like all this stress, all the work, all the worrying about paying the bills and this, like that takes a toll on you. And it's like as a group collectively, a lot of us are tired, overworked, and fucking miserable.
Preach,
Sarah,
sis.
do you think too that some of that frustration is that if a man is told you're entitled to a wife if you meet this certain criteria and they're not getting it, they're frustrated, sorry, with the work aspect of it, and they're also looking for relief. They're looking for this time where someone comes in, brings their income, and takes the burden off. So coming in and yelling, you're angry because, hey, you don't have what this patriarchy and capitalism has sold you that you're going to get. So you are still working, you're still spinning your wheels, and you're like, someone told me that I get a woman and she's going to be the relief and she's going to do all this stuff. And I'm going to get some financial relief. They want that real bad because they
Yeah,
bought into that idea.
yeah, because a lot of dudes they have this fantasy of coming home, putting your feet up, and then like the food is already cooked, the house is clean, the kids are taken care of. Like you just got to go to work and that's it, right? For women,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, you just take care of the home and somebody else goes to work, but you still working at home. But yeah, it's like this idea, like it's being so much to the point you need another person to do it. That's what I said. Like, um, it's interesting that people just like working all these overtime hours because a lot of times I don't know if people are aware of like the labor the labor movement and how we got like the labor laws and how we got unions, so to speak, and like having a 5 day work week, having a day, a 8 hour day. Those are things we had to fight for. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was not like, and you can see slowly but surely we're losing that. Like people talking
Mm-hmm.
about they work every day of the week, like that's the flex. Like no, that used to be the norm, and the longer you do it, it becomes the norm, becomes expectation. You get up and go to work. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like if they can get people to pump out more babies, they don't care if you work your ass off, if you unalive. Like the whole idea of like capitalism is to produce, 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 and like that's what you're doing. But it comes to this point, like, oh, okay, when the fuck do you get a break? When does this shit end? And it's like, oh, when you get much older, you have so many people who don't even take vacation time. They like,
Yep.
oh, I'll oh if I don't take vacation, they'll pay it out. So we value the money more than we do our fucking time, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
want
will
to
let
answer
you
that.
cash it out. Well, go ahead, Tori.
Yes, and people. So I work with a lot of seniors, and so I use my grandma as an example. Like people worry because you work all these years until you turn 60, turn 65. Something that my grandma we talked about some years ago was when it comes to even just their retirement or Social Security benefits. She said if because of how the income was split up, because if her husband was to unallow before her, of course she can pull from his benefits, but even though they've been surviving on both of their incomes for however long, she can't pull from his benefits and her benefits at the same time, so the income is automatically reduced even though that's income that they both put together. So that's something else that people worried about, where the shit doesn't work. People
So
have
who get
to.
all his money? Where'd it go, Tareem?
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd it all
Exactly.
go?
They
Where'd it
still,
all
and it's
go?
like they spent 20, 30 years married and this is their incomes, and he goes and now she can't benefit from the income that was helping her life, and now she got to figure out what to do because of that, or try to think of alternative solutions because now it's cut in half. That shit is crazy.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
the interesting thing because we all live like we all gonna make it to retirement. Some people, y'all, some of y'all, because of your jobs, are not going to make it to retirement.
That part. Just want to say that Alex is fired. Alex, it's been 25 minutes. It's been
Yeah,
5 minutes times
I knew the
five. And you.
5 minutes was a lie. He a black man. I was like, oh, that nigga lying to us.
What you say that we noticed?
Wagwan, Alex, what's up?
Y'all are funny.
After you bust that left, I hit a turn signal. I need you to answer the prompt.
um, okay, let me turn off the signal because I'm not even driving. Capitalism is forcing us to. Ooh, okay. Uh, how should I answer that? I don't know. It's strange. It's a very strange question. You would think so.
I
But a
mean,
lot of people got egos and they don't want to be, they rather suffer and pay their bills than be in relationships. But I think I agree with the prompt.
I'm disappointed all that goddamn time, and it's just strange as crazy. I know.
Huh?
No, you know what you did, Alex. Let me go look
No,
and see what you put. Hold up, no,
there's,
hold
I
up,
wanted
cause
to
you.
participate plenty of times, but I'm on the road and y'all were spitting, so I sit back and listen. I'm really into the capitalism thing, and it's all a scam to me. Shit. Hey, they screw up the money supply. They force crashes, and then
Alex,
it's
mute
crazy.
up. You just saying random shit, Alex.
Do
Mute
y'all
up.
do y'all do y'all
Take some
find it
time to think
crazy?
about it. Damn, huh?
Do y'all find it crazy that the average person, like majority of people, never stop to ask what are they working for? What's his money? What is this system? Like they're just like, okay, that I found that wild. I was like, no
So one
wonder
of
we
the
live in this scam.
correlations, one of the correlations, is the school system, right?
Yeah.
I learned this when my son was younger. because his high school, he his high school is a suburban school. And the interesting thing about that school is that he had to be there for 5 hours a day, but he
Mm.
could go anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. He just had to be there for 5 hours, considered to be present for the day. So before that, he went to the school. It was like, oh, okay, he having problems with sleeping. Like we were trying to like the delta wave sounds and everything, trying to get him to go to sleep like that. Maybe he must have insomnia or something. But once he switched schools, it's like no, he just needed another hour of sleep. Like he needed to stay up another hour and get another hour of sleep, and then he was fine. Essentially, it's like we throw off our own natural rhythms, our circadian rhythm, and like we get used to the routine of getting up early, going to school, coming home, having homework to do, get a little bit of downtime, go to sleep. Like that routine is like setting you in place to work like a 9 to 5 every day.
Mm.
Um, which is why like even homework is problematic because like it teaches you to bring work home with you. Or, like
Hey.
subtle things like that. So like it doesn't just of course you're not gonna question it. You've been doing it since you were younger. You get up in the morning, you get dressed, you put your uniform on, you go and you clock in, you do the task for the day, you do it at a certain schedule. When they say you go for your lunch break, go back to work, for whatever time you get your lunch break, you clock out, you go home. Hopefully you got some time. If not, make sure you're ready for the next day. And we we do that throughout our lives. So a lot of people are not going to question because like that's all they know.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to rain hard. It's interesting you mentioned that. I have a friend here on TikTok, Evolving Seeds. He talks about how kids are taught to. It's very strange that kids are told, oh, stranger danger, but then they're simultaneously taught to respect strangers and not question them in terms of like when they go to school, and I think that his correlation to it is they grow up and they never question anything. They accept the politicians that are presented in front of them, and like they accept that other people have authority and whatnot. I found that very interesting. But yeah, school.
Yeah, so it's called
I,
a
I knew I couldn't be like a person that just follows the rules since school because I didn't. Hey, I was a big troublemaker. If it didn't make sense to me, I was not respecting it, no matter who told me what. But hey, I think it worked out for the best. Sorry though.
it worked out for the best.
Yeah, because I got a free mind. I see a lot of my friends. They still believe in this whole capitalism thing. They still, they're stuck in this. They don't question things. Like I've been able
That's
to.
that's coming across as not behavior. I ain't gonna lie.
Hmm?
That's not, it's giving knock at the end of the day. If you referring to your friends, you close like I don't know. That's interesting. But what was I about to say? Damn, I was about to say something. You kept yapping. Damn.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No,
I'll
don't
shut up.
apologize. No, what you apologize for? You did it. It'll come back to me.
Well, that's why I believe women shouldn't have children unless they can really afford them. So we can raise our kids the way we want to. I have one child. I have a son, and I love him so very much, but I feel guilty that I can't homeschool him. I don't have that choice to, well, right now, I don't have that choice to let him wake up when he wants, have him trained in what he loves to do, because I see how the school system is, and I see how these government institutions are, and how they will try to use your child, not try to, but they use your child to keep you stuck in abusive relationships. So I always try to advise young women, you know, work hard towards your dreams first. If you're going to work hard, don't work hard to make a company rich. Work hard towards your dreams. Make sure you have a sisterhood tribe, and don't depend on a man for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead. You got it.
No, I was gonna say I agree with her about
Yeah, I
the
agree.
people being stuck because of the kids. We will take it on the chin. we'll take it anywhere, literally, because we are gonna sacrifice for them kids. You know, we'll get up here and talk about these men, but we talk about sacrificing for the children, the conversation will change. It will change. And I think that men know that too, and know to exploit that, because what I won't do for me, what I walk away from for you, it's going to be a lot harder when I'm trying to provide for these children, because they don't have another option. They can't just go get a second job and start working and take care of themselves. So yeah, I think that's part of the manipulation. So when you say and be financially um, maybe not independent, but be financially well off enough where you're not dependent is super important, because you will be stuck for those children.
Exactly. And
And the crazy
that's why
part, hold
I
on,
have
real
to deal
quick.
with, huh?
Real quick. Here's the crazy part because you was mentioning how like women have to do such for the kids, and it's interesting because like that. Notice that message is never for the men, right? Just keep that in mind. But essentially, like that's how they get you because technically, again, if the system is trying so hard to get people to have children, right? And we gotta remember, children are people. That's because like you can't have a society if you don't have people. They force women to have children, but it ain't force you to pay all the fucking expenses. And because it's so individualistic, I guess it makes sense to people that like, oh yeah, you're a mother, you supposed to do this. Like people are shame somebody for getting food stamps. Like the children gotta eat. What the fuck are you talking about? Like and like it's interesting because somebody else say, well, I don't have children. Why this should it impact me? The children are fucking people. If you don't have people in society, you don't have a fucking society. How are you going to survive? If you get older, you need somebody to take care of you. Who's going to take care of you? You need to go to the doctors. Who's going to make sure you are healthy? Like who's going to make the food you need? It's so much we depend on other people, but it's interesting because like all this with the $5,000 and all this stuff. Like if childcare was covered, when they closed the schools down, I know a lot of parents who were panicking, like with that, like they wanted the kids out of the home because like this was a lot of work. But they felt like, oh, the school should provide this, and like, why does that change when you're young? Like when the children are younger, like there should be universal child care. Like that shouldn't be. Women shouldn't be punished for having the children. The society is for forcing them to fucking have. It don't make no damn sense.
Amen. And then these government institutions like DSS and CPS, they are not there to help you if you're in an abusive relationship. I know from experience and from a lot of women I know that have went through it. Um, they're really like a trafficking institution, and then they'll do everything in their power to keep you in the relationship with an abusive man. So I tell women all the time, just be careful. We're listening to other women who will tell you that you need to have kids and you need to go and find a husband, and I find that a lot of older women do that. I not all of them, but like the older, the pick me mammies, they're miserable with their life. They sip the patriarchal Kool-Aid. They have lost themselves. They're unhealthy. They're unhappy. They're still working at the jobs they hate, and they push marriage and religion on young women more than anybody.
Yeah, which is selfish. There's a I forgot the name of it, a developmental milestone that comes later in age. But essentially it's saying like if you had a fulfilling life where you had autonomy and you feel like you contributed something, you was able to fulfill your dreams, you're more likely to want the same or you like want to give information to the next generation. If you're somebody who's like bitter about your not having experiences, feeling like you missed out, you're more likely which cause stagnation. You just want to kind of like uphold it because it's like it's unfair that I didn't get to do it. You shouldn't be able to get it too, do it either. And essentially, it's like whether the person realizes that's what it is or not, like that's where it's coming from.
Mm.
Yeah, and I wanted to say too, the ones who have kind of switched up will try to reach back, but sometimes people are a little too far in, right? Depending on where they are financially, how much they're dependent on their partner, can't walk away at that point. So there are some that reach back, but if you're reaching back and she's now 37, and 4 kids in and stuck, it's not as easy to get out, right? But if we didn't have this separation of the, what do you call it, the nuclear family, it would be easier to see and share these experiences. But the nuclear family is meant to set me apart. So I can't see how grandma and granddad really live on a day-to-day basis. We're not in a family, we're not in a multi-generational home. I can't see it with my own 2 eyes. So it's, hey, you get your house with you, your husband, your kids, and a dog, you and everyone stays separate. So there is no shared experience and there is no help. You can't pass that down by me observing how you live or what have you. So I think that that part is important and it contributes to the divide where we can't come together as a community and say, hey, this wasn't working out, or hey, it's going bad right now. You see what's happening with grandma, don't do the same thing. So you get isolated, and the isolation continues to keep the thing going. But I came off of mute to mention autoimmune disease, and a lot of people don't know that after a divorce, some people's autoimmune disease literally disappears, cured, gone, can't be found. And if you guys know what autoimmune diseases are, the kid version is your body's turning on itself. It's turning on itself. Whatever system, whatever it could be, bloodborne, whatever's going on, a system is turning in on itself, and your body is attacking itself. So if you guys don't understand how much stress plays into things, there are things they will tell you that you will have for the rest of your life, an autoimmune disease, and you can get a divorce. You can separate from a relationship, and it literally resolves itself. It is crazy. It is crazy. But just
Absolutely.
yeah, understand how important when we say the health of a relationship and your personal health is tied to this stress. And if you have capitalism plus the patriarchy weighing down on you as a woman, you have two things that are combating you, which is why women have more autoimmune diseases than men, because we have two systems that we're fighting, and our body is saying we're tired. The stress is too much, and we're not listening to ourselves. But just want to throw that part out.
I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to bring up Joe Dispenza and Dr. Lipton taught me what you were speaking on. And that's why they both said that it's better for women to be alone or to not be in a relationship with men because they get so much more done and they have less of a chance of getting sick. I mainly work with dementia clients, and most of these women, when they talk about their past, they always talk about how they were in abusive relationships. And I looked up a lot of things dealing with dementia, and it can come from um, the toxins in like pans and foods, and also from being knocked upside the head too many times. Yep.
Yeah, because if you have a partner that's violent, you living under constant stress. Like that's like a different level of survival mode. You constantly worrying about like your safety. That shit is crazy.
I put their names down in the comment section, y'all, if y'all want to check those doctors out. So, do you all believe in, um, well, I hate to say the word the law of attraction. I don't know any other way to explain it, but waking up positive, living a positive life, believing in yourself, letting go of toxic people, and living in your truth. Do you believe that that can attract more positive things to you? Like you can manifest better?
I don't know about like attracting. I think like if you're in a certain mindset.
If it
Um,
can't attract me, well, I own raw materials and resources. That shit ain't working.
yeah, it's like what's that called the secret? Like if you just positive, then only positive things can happen to you. Like tell that to enough black people. That's crazy. Um, and I think anybody who come with that message from a place of privilege should be honest. I do think like being in a certain mindset will make you look at things differently. But I don't think that just because you're looking at things positively that like I don't know. I'm not the person. I don't be having that conversation. Alex, you fucking suck, Alex. I hope you can hear
Yeah,
me.
he can. We know
You
Teacup can hear us. Where you
I
at? Oh,
think
you
I
got to be
think on the
lying.
manifestation thing, I think it only I believe, because I don't know for sure how that thing works, but I think it contributes, but it's not necessarily the fix. I think actions matter. So um, maybe if you do what you got to do with a positive attitude, that that helps out and whatnot. But hey,
Y'all do know is a
the
thing
cat.
called
I have a
toxic.
topic called "Capitalism is gonna lead to eventually people crashing out," because this
It's
shit's
already crashing out.
unsustainable.
People already crashing out. But hold up.
Okay.
Y'all do know toxic positivity is a thing, right?
Yes.
Yes, we
And
allergic.
I
I'm
can't.
allergic
I'm
to
gonna
it
be
because I hate
honest.
it.
If I'm going through something and I'm venting, I can't stand a toxic positive motherfucker. Like you get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. That's how I feel. Like, what is
I
you talking about?
agree.
My problem is with people owning everything. It's like a game of Monopoly. You can tell me to be positive, think positive, but when I get to that ceiling and I can't break through, what's your answer then? Because there is a ceiling, because I have to ask someone to buy it because they own it. And they have to say yes to selling it to me. So that's the limit. So when they tell you you can be a billionaire, you can own this, you can play this, you can be an athlete, you can be an entertainer, but we still won't let you have the resources that you need to make your people independent. Please know that there's a ceiling. So that talk stuff, excuse me, the positivity works, but you still have to recognize that we're still being suffocated, and you do have a limit. No matter how positive you are when you wake up every day, there's still going to be that limit, and that's what I usually would defer to when people say that. So I can be positive in a day-to-day interaction, but I still understand there's a ceiling to how far we can go.
I agree.
Hi Tara,
I
hi
believe
everybody.
Hey, Cha Cha.
How are you?
Good.
I'm just I think capitalism, I think that it is rampant everywhere. I think that, there is a major cost of living crisis. And the only reason why it's a crisis, I think, they're blaming a lot of the things on the cost of COVID, but every one of our top politicians managed to make an absolute fortune out of the COVID crisis. They all put investments in different things into different companies, and they absolutely won out of it. And they also gave all of their mates contracts, government contracts, and so again, our government spent 40 billion on bullshit. They don't know exactly where it's went. So again, all of that money has just allowed the rich to get richer. And then they had the gall and the audacity to say to people who are getting social security benefit or disability benefits to try and do better. Do you know, like they've had people come in for assessments, and this is people who are like registered blind and different things like that, to say, right, okay, how can we get you into work and stuff like that. So there's loads of stuff going on where they're trying to distract, and especially here in the UK, they blame everything on immigrants. So if we just make the YT people angry enough and blame the immigrants, then they'll stop looking at what we're actually doing with the money. And that seems to be working for the most part. YT people love to hate on, black and brown people, especially if they have accents, especially if, you know, it just kind of adds to their racism. So the government is keeping everybody distracted with that bullshit. Meanwhile, they're spending all of the money supporting different countries that are in war zones and everything else, and allowing things like social housing here to go with no repairs and different things like that. Sorry, is that Sun? Sungani, I think I can hear your back. Thank you, love. I can hear your background. So I think that's the thing that the capitalism does, is that it's upholds the patriarchy, because it puts YT men at the very, very top and everybody else underneath that. And it upholds their mediocrity, by keeping them at the very, very top, and then triangulates everybody else to blame a different minority group. So if it's not immigrants, it's trans people. If it's not trans people, then it's the youth who are not doing enough, who are lazy, this and that. So these are all the things that the government use to kind of um, keep us distracted whilst they get away with the capitalism and continue to make a fortune from hoarding resources and stealing from other countries and everything else, and even our our taxes that we pay. Um, they're not investing them properly in the services that we want. Like here in the UK, we have the National Health Service, so we pay into that every month. Um, and we know that a lot of the money's been mismanaged by, middle management and the government itself, because they would love to go to a US style of healthcare where, if you're not rich enough, then you're likely to unalive, which is absolutely, that's terrifying. And it's awful for you guys that are having to go through that. So, yep, that's why capitalism wins for the government. It allows them to stay in power, it allows them to share resources with other rich men throughout the world. And so, therefore, they don't really want people. The democracy that we have is all an illusion, and it is the same for you guys in America. But yous have got it worse. You guys are living in Gilead, it seems, a land.
Damn. Damn, Cha-Cha. Not Gilead.
Hey, Gilead was the bar. Going back on mute.
What's up, son? Did you know you was up here? I guess not. Y'all make sure y'all tapping the screen, gifting the people on the panel, like support the live. Um,
You did the mention your live goal. We need how many more donuts? 40? Something like that. Everybody send a donut. It's a live goal. Oh, we need 41 donuts at the top, right above that man's eyeglasses, right on his hairline. Hit the donut. I appreciate you guys contributing. Taryn here putting in the work. Thank you, everyone. And thank y'all for tapping. We're at 28,000. We should be, I think, at 35 in the next hour. I love it. Thank y'all.
are y'all's open panel? Let's see if Alex, you there?
Can I answer a question from Tam? She said, didn't Scotland change its laws to keep
Yes, I'm here,
immigrants
sir.
out?
Hold on, go ahead, Cha-Cha, then go ahead, Alex.
No, our laws are not changed to keep immigrants out. We are of the UK. We're the most liberal country, so we've got Scotland, England, Northern Ireland, and Wales. We are, by any means, we have kind of a protested and taken Home Office, like stood on Home Office vans and in the way of them, so that it doesn't take out, some of our immigrants. But England are trying to constantly do different things to, you know, to ban immigrants and to be horrible and vile and have detention centres and all of that. There are some of them here in Scotland, but the legislation for immigration comes directly from Westminster, which is the English Labour Party. Keir Starmer is in rule, but most parts Scotland don't don't protest against immigrants. We would prefer them because, the largest, we have a large population of different immigrants because of our natural resources like wind energy and stuff like that. So we have loads of different people from Europe, India, Ghana, Nigeria that are engineers working on these different kind of resources that we have. Um, so we're okay with immigrants. What we can't stand is the English. They're our neighbours. We're in like an abusive relationship with the UK. England is the abusive father, the abusive man, and we're all trying to go. But he's saying, "Well, you'll not survive without me. If you try and leave, this is what's going to happen. You're going to destroy yourself." All that propaganda, and so they won't give us another referendum, which is bullshit. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Hope that answers it, Tam. Sorry, I just went off on a tangent.
What's up, Lynn? Alex on teacup. Y'all know 100 coins like $1. Y'all can give the people on the panel. Just saying. What's up, Lynn?
Hey, y'all. So it's not funny because
You
it's
sound
actual.
you sound like you in a ham radio.
It's like I'm in a what?
It sound messed up.
Hold on. It's because my AirPods are on transparency mode, I think. Hold on. Let me change it over. Let me change it over. Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
It sound better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Thanks,
So
Lynn.
I like it's funny that this is the topic. And I I agree, but then like I don't like capitalism is a motherfucker. Like so like we the fucked up part about like being relationally in this generation is that I don't know. The men in this generation have believed the idea of the American dream, right? So they don't want to fight for the government to let up on capitalism, but they also think that we should be able to live in poverty when being right above poverty is like the most destructive thing that you can do in this environment and in this economy, right? Like being mediocre or being middle class, like and striving to like make that your lifestyle and okay is just you being upper impoverished, right? And people don't understand that. The men don't understand that, right? And it it's such a fucked up place to be in because when people talk to me and like I'm gonna make this personal. When people talk to me, they think like, oh, okay, you want to live like this lavish sort of lifestyle. Like that's why you say like you want to date rich men or this type of men or men with who make over a certain amount of money. But I don't think y'all are understanding like economy and finances and how money works. Like I don't think men understand that, and that's a problem in and itself. Like who wants to be with someone who doesn't understand how the economy and how finances work, right? Because being middle class is basically being impoverished. We pay the most in taxes. We don't qualify for assistance, right? Because like poor people can qualify for assistance from the government, but we make too much, but we don't make enough. Like all of our money literally goes to excess of expenses. We don't have enough money to live the lifestyle that we were promised to live, like the fucking American dream, and we don't qualify for help. And living the lifestyle that, like, a modest lifestyle is still being impoverished. Like they don't want you to be able to afford happiness. They want you to work and unalive. And I saw Cha Cha say it in the comments earlier. Some people are going to be working till the day that they unalive. Because the thing about your grandparents, the thing about like your grandpop and like the fucking men of the past is like they had pensions. Their jobs were automatically saving for them. These jobs are purposely choosing retirement plans where people will have to learn how to work their own finances. I was in the flow. A lot of you motherfuckers, based on the conversations that we have now, don't even understand how much it's going to take to retire. Y'all don't understand how life is going to be. Y'all vote incorrectly, so like you're gonna vote us out of the shit and the protections that we have because y'all are voting with your dicks, you're voting with misogyny, you're voting with this mindset of I just have to have some coochie and a wife and a life. and then you also don't want to earn enough money to secure the fucking vote that you're voting for. So I'm sorry, I just came up here to trauma dump because I've been listening to like financial podcasts, and I've been like listening to some shit to get me motivated to also like get my life situated, because like you motherfuckers just don't understand. Having conversations with men of this generation who don't even understand how retirement work is fucking crazy, and y'all are expected to be the leaders. Y'all are like, why we can't live on 50,000 a year, like as a family of four? Like, fucking what? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? And you want a woman to be a stay-at-home mama for 50,000 a year? Like, fuck off and go make some more money. Okay, y'all got poverty mindset. Y'all want us to live in poverty, and y'all want us to die in unalive in poverty. Okay, it's fucking ridiculous. Not even in our old age are we going to be okay, because y'all are operating off of misogyny and ego. And my bad for the rant, but I land.
No, you good. Because I think it's interesting. Because when you talk about the American dream, it's like that's the distraction. The distraction is like, oh, it's supposed to be this way, and it's like there's a lot of other things that you need to be considering. Um, but yeah, it's like when we talk about like relationships being transactional, there's a reason why the transaction's there. Because like this idea that you could just marry somebody or be with somebody just because you care about them and you love them, like that's not realistic. Like you could be fucked up. Like, yeah, you love that motherfucker, but like, did y'all see that video of them people that was living in that fucking storage facility? Like, there's a lot more to it, and it's crazy because like financial literacy is something you unfortunately have to pursue on your own, and not enough people know about it. But it has such a detrimental impact on you. You don't know what's going on.
Exactly. And men, they don't love these women. They just love the free and cheap labor. They love to have someone to have sex with when they're not out chasing new behind. They don't really love women. They love what a woman does for them. They love when a woman sustains their life. They
And
love when the woman is cooking and cleaning and taking care of them and giving them children and being their character beard and lying about how great of a man he is, even though he's out doing whatever he wants while his wife is at home slaving away at two jobs at that.
I want us to master the art of detachment as women and not care about a man not loving us. Who cares? Who
I
cares?
don't
Because I
care
don't love
about
you
it. I
either.
don't care. I'm
I
just making it
really
clear to women.
like this prompt is perfect, and I really think like that's the way it should be. How what can you do for my life at this point? Like, and well, because y'all vote against our own best interest, right? We don't have the vote to make it better. We don't have the vote to make it stop. Therefore, our lifestyles are going to have to show the current state of humanity. And if you're going to be in a relationship, do it for money, do it for what he
Exactly.
can do. And I'm so sorry, that's just how it's going to have to be. You're going to unalive if you are poor, because you're going to be not poor enough to receive assistance and not poor enough to not care. That's what's going to happen to you. Okay. So do it for what he can do for you, not necessarily money. What type of benefits does he have? What can he do? Master the art of detachment. I am detached from the idea of love. It's a fever dream. We can fall in love later on. We can grow in love, but when we start off, what is going to happen?
Child, we
Groceries are
can't
at an
even do
all-time
that. If I
high.
was a married man, I wouldn't even have sex with him. That's
I
no,
want to
that's pretty
marry.
much why I'm sorry, Smex. That's pretty much why I'm a lesbian. I'm completely detached from men. I'm just
I want a
explaining to women
lander
who don't
marriage.
know that men can't love. They don't love. They only love what you do for them. And I
Yeah,
could
but
care
you're not
less
in the free
about being in
either,
love
because
with a
those
man.
women are misogynistic. Lesbian women are misogynistic as well. So
No, well,
there's
yeah,
that.
there are plenty of misogynistic lesbian women, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well,
Can I
there's
ask
that.
Nit? Can I ask the Nit women in the comments? Just she said knits and things. So you've said a lot of things in the comments, as and it sounds like you support Trumpty Dumpty. I just need to find that out if that's true or not, because you're saying things like, capitalism allows entrepreneurial things, and when I've come back with responses, you said our government are doing it. Some parts of our government are quite socialist, and I'm like, what part of the government is socialist in the US? When you pay for absolutely everything, prescriptions, eye tests, all of these things in most countries in Europe, a few countries in
Who are you
Africa,
talking to?
She's talking to me.
knits and tings. Oh, you're up
Oh,
finally. Yeah, I was just
knitting.
wondering because it
Okay.
sounded as though you were quite pro-Trump, and so I was confused. I was like, what? What do you mean?
Well, here's the thing, Cha Cha. I'm not pro Trump at all. Um, I'm not pro Trump, but I don't understand the capitalism bash. Like for me, I respect capitalism and I respect socialism, I'm from the USA, and I believe that although we're looked at as a capitalistic state, country, that we also have some socialism. Like the government supports people as well as allows us to embrace entrepreneurship. Like we're not forced to have to work under an
Who does the
employer.
government support?
What?
Who does the government support?
The government supports people,
Which people?
Yeah, that was my
human
question
people.
as
No, no,
well.
no, no. What financial
The government
state?
supports through welfare. The government supports through nonprofit
Right, right, right. But
organizations.
who,
Hold on,
how,
hold on. You
who do
asked me a
you,
question.
no,
I'm
don't
not
tell
finished
me to hold
answering.
on. Don't tell me to hold on. Don't tell me to hold on. I will not. I'm sorry. You like capitalism. This is a dictatorship, and you're not a part of the upper class over here. So this is the thing. The government supports extremely poor people. Am I right? You can answer now. Oh, wow. Lady,
Knits and things. You can unmute. Sorry, just so we can hear your answer. Because that was my question too. What part of the US government? I know that there is social security, but it doesn't seem like it supports a whole load of people. Even people who are just earning slightly above that, it's still very much a struggle. And even like I think it was Coconut Lord said in the comments earlier, there is no longer a middle class because everybody's constantly working. So I was just curious as well as to what part of the government or what is it that those who are at the top are doing for those who are not. And I don't see much of that. So as somebody who's coming from outside the US, it would be helpful to get your perspective on that. Because I was like, what are you talking about? I was really confused and still am confused. If you wouldn't mind explaining.
she's on mute. The government supports extremely poor people. Cha cha. Man, what I mean by extremely poor people is technically a lot of us are poor in America, but we are under the impression, right? It's a fever
Hmm.
dream that we are not poor. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no middle class. The middle class
No.
is poor, right? But yeah, you have to be extremely poor for the government to support you.
I mean, the thing is, like that woman who
That's
had
not
some of her
necessarily
children
true.
had some of her children unalive. I was wondering what the government did to support that family, and I know that they're not alone. There's a lot of families that are homeless, and can't afford basic rent. So within the US, so I see that a lot. There's also a lot of homeless people here. So I'm not saying this is just a diss to to the US. We have all the similar problems here as well. So it's not to kind of villainize the US, but as part of what is one of the richest countries in the world, it's just very strange how there are so many people that are living like that and being banned from being homeless and things like that in the street. So just what I wanted to get your perspective, nits and tings, as to why you think the government are supporting those homeless people when it's banning them from being homeless, although they can't help it. You can unmute, nits and tings.
You put in the comments her answer. Oh, she unmuted. Go ahead.
That's a good question. Cha Cha, that's a good question. In my opinion, I don't believe that everybody homeless utilizes their resources. This is coming from someone who's been homeless before, but by the grace of God, just had the mentality to tunnel vision on resources, focusing on finding resources. Not everybody has the courage or like the motivation to just get up and travel around to find resources. But that's not the government's fault. A lot of this stuff is self determination. And then to piggyback off of Miss Lynn, who's heavy on the government supports really poor people. Of course, the government also supports really rich people. The government also supports middle class people. So it's like no one's not not being just not being fit. I'm talking about as far as the United States goes. I cannot speak for every continent in the world because I know
Of
that
course, no, no,
everybody's
it was just the United States. But the thing that gets me, and the thing that gets me about the government here as well in the UK, is that it's saying pull yourself up with the bootstraps, especially when a lot of the homeless people have severe mental health issues. Some people have actually lost their homes due to, financial hardships and having to pay for illnesses. I'm a very lucky person. I've just had surgery in February, and it was free for me. When I give birth. When I gave birth to my daughter 15 years ago, it was free. There's no bills for that. My medication, I don't have any bills for that. So in the US, when people are possibly forced to sell their houses in order to pay for medical bills and things like that, how does the government support them? How does the
And
government
then
support
I
them
want to
when they've
know.
reduced
that's a
Medicare
good
and things?
question.
Hold
That's a good
on, hold
question
on,
because
hold on. I want to know. Do you believe in systemic racism, myths and things?
do I believe in statistic excuse me, say it again.
Systemic, systemic.
Systemic racism.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Then how can you say that?
And then how can I say what?
How can you make the claim that the government supports people when you also believe in systemic racism at the same time? Wouldn't that be a contradiction?
Absolutely, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because on one side of the coin, you have people of the government who are trying to heal from racism, and then on the other side of the coin, you have some people in the government who are trying to revert back to it. So it's kind of like a warfare situation going on. But um, while some
Do you
people,
know what systemic means?
I don't know what systemic means, but I know what I have an idea of what racism is, and I have an idea of like economic. Um, um,
What Nitz, Nitz, if I can jump in, when you said self-determination, that's one of the kind of dog whistles. So the self-determination, you may have heard Cha-Cha say, means pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Like your progress and where you go is only determined by your efforts. So that directly contradicts you understanding that it's a systemic issue and that there is a ceiling that you're going to stop at. And there's certain rooms, there's certain things you can't buy, certain things you can't own, you won't be able to own and produce cotton to make the t-shirts. You're going to have to buy it from someone else who owns it. So that's what we're
Okay,
talking about here. There's
Mrs. That goes into what I was saying about resources. So, and then it goes back, it circles back to self determination, like and researching about finding the it's in Missouri. Okay, so for instance, I'm from Missouri, right? If I can't own a piece of land somewhere in a particular area in Missouri that I really want to live at, then there are multiple other states, there are multiple other countries where I can research to find.
Do you know what
no,
redlining
no,
is?
no. If you want that property in Missouri because it got oil underneath and you can be rich, not going somewhere else and not getting the same
Or I
land.
can
You're going
challenge it.
somewhere
I can
that's
challenge. I can challenge the
they're not
city
letting
or the county
they
to.
wouldn't let listen, they won't let millionaires and billionaires get stuff. That they won't let millionaires and billionaires who have the actual money and the capital, they won't let them own certain things. That's what we're telling you.
Okay, I see
If
what you're
they want to
saying.
keep you off of that land, they're going to keep you off that land. If they know that this land turns over and this soil is good for the next 30 years, they're going to sell you a piece of land where they know that that land got 5 years left on it before it's not going to turn no crops for another 20. I'm telling you that they're pushing people around, and you're like, no, you have to go somewhere else. Yeah, they're going to let you buy somewhere
No,
else.
I'm
It's
not saying
not
that
going
you
to be as
have to go.
fruitful.
I'm not listen. I'm
You
not saying that you
can't.
have to go somewhere else, but
It's not,
that's
you
an
can,
option. Like we have
it's not an
options here.
option for,
It
it's not an
is.
option.
It
Okay. This
is
conversation's over.
Okay,
for you.
hold on, Dark Horse. This lady don't know what systemic
Okay,
racism
tell
is.
me and educate me
So
then. Since we're
so
having a
let's
conversation, don't keep
okay.
demeaning
I
me.
need you to be quiet in order for me
Sure,
to educate
sure,
you, please.
sure.
Um, what is a system? Do you know what a system is?
No, I do not.
You don't know what a system
So
is.
tell me.
Okay, you don't know what a system is. I'm not
So
going to
tell
tell
me
you.
what a system
I'm
is.
a speak around you. Anyway, because of systemic racism, do you know how wealth is built in this country or was primarily built in this country?
Are you still talking to me or are you moving around me?
I'm talking to you. I'm moving around that point. Do you know how wealth was built in this country?
How was wealth built in this country? Um, hmm. Well,
Can I go?
it started with fair trade. It started with trading. And then
Okay.
from
I know you
trading,
fucking lying.
You can't
well,
say fair
it's the
trade.
truth.
Can I? Can I?
I'm answering the
Hold
question.
on.
I mean, I'm not like
Okay.
a point blank answer.
Through okay,
I don't
I'm
point
trying
blank
to get
answer questions. I have to work,
listen.
I have to build my way up to
Oh,
the answer.
right. And
But
I'm
I don't
trying to
appreciate
lead
you
you.
cutting me off, and I don't appreciate you
I don't
disrespecting me while
appreciate
I'm
you
trying to get
cutting
to
me.
my answer.
Listen, I'm trying to lead you to the answer. I'm trying to lead you to answers, ma'am, because
Well,
that's how you build goddamn, now you got me fucking
tongue
thinking.
tied. Can I just
That's
say,
how you think,
Nets? I think
Chacha. I
Nets.
really I I really cannot do this.
Let me do it because I'm a
I'm talking
tourist.
about
I'm
no,
a tourist.
no, no, no. I'm
I'll
talking
be
about
gentle.
you talking at the same time as me. I really can't do it because I'm
Okay.
already like, please. Everybody got ADHD or some type of autism on this panel. Y'all stop triggering people, please. In order for you to think on your own, have a deeper thought process, I need you to use your own brain, Nits and things. This is the thing. Real estate
I'm
and
using my own brain.
education is
This is my
how
perspective. But okay, okay, go ahead.
it's not about perspective. It's about you understanding and using like your own thought process to find the answers. You know the answers. Think about it. Real estate and education is how people build wealth in this country primarily, right? You get educated, you get a better job. You own real estate, you're able to trade, you're able to build equity. It's a wealth building tool in this country. It's probably one of the number one wealth building tools in this country. How you can go from zero to 100. Do you know what redlining is?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, that you should look up redlining because that's how they
Okay, let me look it up.
systemically kept black
Let me look it up right
people
now.
from building. Okay, go ahead. But that's how they systemically kept black people from building wealth in this country through redlining, through redlining them in certain neighborhoods, right? Causing them to only be able to purchase property in certain neighborhoods and making the value of their property extremely low or not letting them be able to buy property at all through locking them out of loans in these banks,
people knew, the banks knew when black people came from certain neighborhoods, okay, don't allow them to get a loan to be able to buy houses, right? That went on. That's a systemic issue. And then educational systemic issues. Education was fucking free until black people started going to college. Then they raised the price of education. And then black people were able to start getting loans for their education so that they wouldn't be bought out. And what did they do? They raised the price of education even more. It's a systemic issue. So you saying that you can pull yourself up by the bootstraps, in essence, you didn't say that verbatim, but that is what you said in essence, is untrue. It's untrue for black people in America due to systemic racism. When the primary wealth building strategies in this country, right, is education and the housing market, real estate, which black people are still locked out of to this day. Up until 20, what, 20, they were giving black people, charging black people higher interest for home loans who had better fucking incomes and better fucking credit scores than white people. They also undervalue black people's homes when trying to sell them. Okay, it's still a systemic issue in
Get that. Okay, I
2025.
respect that. I
So,
respect that, but I
so
also
that disproves your point entirely. You saying
how? How?
how? I just told you
I
how. Do
didn't
you
even
want me
really
to
get
give
to
you
get my
more?
point across,
Do you
really.
want me to give you more reasons? Because
I,
black women in America,
I don't
we don't
disagree
get,
with what
okay,
you're saying.
hold on, because you said how. Black women in America, we don't have the same medical care as white teen women, Asian women, and Latino, Hispanic women in America. We don't.
I
We
don't
have
disagree
a
with what you're
high
saying.
infant mortality rate. We have a high maternal mortality rate. We have a higher chance of getting breast cancer. We are number one at type 4 triple negative breast cancer. Why? Because they put us in these communities through redlining. We are more likely to unalive to heart failure, heart conditions, diabetes. Why? Because we are in food deserts. Black women only have the opportunity to buy food close to their neighborhoods, and they don't have the food that's nutritious to their body, and it causes us to be in perpetual cycles of disease. We die sooner, we unalive sooner. Do you know what the school to prison pipeline is? We are over policed. The children in our community are
I agree with
open
what you're
to gun
saying.
to
But let me
pew
ask you this.
violence. Must I fucking go on? Are
No,
you
no.
okay,
I'm
ma'am?
okay.
We
Yeah, I'm
cannot
okay.
pull ourselves up by the bootstraps because there is a system that is built against us. So what you're saying is untrue
So,
and
Miss, what
do
I'm gonna
not
say,
piss
Miss
me
Lynn, what I'm
off.
gonna ask is, what is your solution? What is your idea of the solution?
Sound like a white man.
This is a genuine question. I really want
You sound
to
like a white man. We told
know
Hold
your
you
up. You
it's
never,
perspective
it's
hold
the
of the
up.
the
You
we
never
solution.
wait.
answered.
I
Hold
genuinely
up.
want to
Hold
know.
up.
No, no,
Real
no, 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 no,
quick.
no.
Hold up,
I
Nick.
sincerely
Hold
want
up.
to know
I'm gonna
the.
mute you. No. How is generational built in this country? Like how did this country become wealthy, Nits? Because that was an important question. Missouri, y'all gotta do better.
We're supply and demand.
But that's a
Okay, what was
problem of
the hold up?
systemic
What was
racism
the
too.
supply?
Missouri's fucking
Well,
school
hold up.
district.
What was the demand? What was the supply they was demanding that made this country wealthy?
Multiple things. Multiple things.
Like what?
From farming to cotton clothing,
Who was
um,
doing the farming, knits and things?
African American, black people were doing the farming.
Were they
And white
paid
people
for the
too. White people
farming?
too.
Are you okay? How old are you?
I'm 30. I'm having a conversation with y'all. I mean, I might not be the brightest thing in the bunch, but who are y'all actually trying to reach out to? Who are y'all trying to influence? Like,
Man,
what
white people were doing the farming?
are we just
Are you
venting? I
okay
get
in
if we're
the
just
head?
venting here. Is that what it is? Are we
Venting.
just venting, or are
Venting.
we
Is
trying to
that
be
what
like?
they teach y'all in
Lynn,
Missouri
Lynn,
school
can I
district?
try? Lynn, can I try?
No, this is not. We're not in
Are
school. I can say
no,
Nets,
venting. We're not in
nets,
honey,
school right
nets,
honey,
now.
honey, we're not in school, which means you should know this. We're the
nets.
African American people being paid for their labor.
No, they were not. But what is your point as far as
The point.
capitalism? I agree with entrepreneurship. That's my stance.
Can I
I think
just?
My
she was
stance is
she was
I agree
no
with.
A
Cha
group
Cha.
I
of
support
people.
entrepreneurship.
Liz, she would sit here as a troll. Anybody who don't acknowledge slavery was sent as a troll. Y'all stop talking to her.
I acknowledge
Okay.
You a
slavery.
troll. You a troll.
Mrs.
You
SMK.
a troll. Nobody
Stop
believes you. No, you
disrespecting
don't
me,
So
believe
please.
that.
I wanna
You
know.
Stop
disrespected.
disrespecting me, please.
You
And that's
you
all I'm gonna say for
disrespected.
now.
Hold the fuck
She
on.
did
Hold the
acknowledge
fuck on.
slavery, y'all.
No. You just disrespected 400 years of free labor. You the motherfucker up here with disrespect, not me.
I'm
You
not
over here playing in my
disrespecting
motherfucking face. That's a
slavery.
goddamn lie.
I agree with most of
I'll
what
say what I
I
want
agree
to
with
people who
most of
don't
what Miss
acknowledge that
Lynn
we
said.
built
It's not
America.
everything that she
We
said
built
is false.
America. We
Oh
built
my
it.
god.
So
We built it.
So
I
is this
wanna
like a
know.
venting session, or are we trying to figure out like what's the best for the economy? Like what's the best
What do
solution for
you
the
have your
economy?
degree in? What do
How
you have
can
your
you?
degree in,
I'm in
Nets.
ma'am?
cosmetology school.
Can I just
So
say this? Nets. Nets. Can I just
so
say this, Lynn, just 2 seconds? How can we sort out a problem or solve an issue when there's people like yourself and YT people who deny the reality of what's happened? If you
I'm not
deny the,
denying
if you did, but you
anything.
are, you haven't. You said fair trade.
I
That was one of the. Let me finish my sentence, please. That was one of the
okay.
first things you said was fair trade. Now, I don't know what part of colonisation and the genocide of Indigenous people and the genocide and trafficking of millions of black people from the continent of Africa is fair trade. What part of that is fair trade, in all honesty? Can you tell me what part of that is fair trade? You
let's
can't, because it's not true. It's not true. So when you come onto a panel
I was
when it's
asked how
predominantly
the
black
country got
people,
wealthy, and I said
no,
through
stop, stop,
trade.
stop. When you come on a panel and it's predominantly black people, and like Mrs. Mack had said, there's been a 400 head start from the white people in the US, where they have now become the majority and they have done everything they can to oppress black people. And it's maybe only in the last 50 years where we see progress, but it's still, people are still being strange fruited. People are still being unalived by the police. Women are still not being listened to and still going missing and not getting the same coverage as YT women. All these things are happening, and it is because of misogyny. Look at Trumpty Dumpty. The fact that he's in the very White House is a mixture of YT supremacy and misogynoir. Do you know? And the fact is, 77 million people put that
you are
rapist
putting
there.
too
I'm not a
much
You have
Trump
to
dip on
acknowledge
supporter.
her
all of that. You have to
I
trick.
acknowledge
never
all of
said I was a
that.
Trump supporter. I'm
Cha
not a
But you
Trump
have to
cha,
supporter.
acknowledge
cha
all of
cha,
that.
cha
Yeah.
cha. You are putting too much dip on her chick. That you think she gonna understand massage noir and fair trade as far as why African that was not fair trade.
I'm
Slavery
trying. I was.
wasn't fair
I'm trying. I'm
trade.
trying to be fair to say, look, your education really sucks, and you need to get some nets
It
because
does. The Bible
it's
Belt
really
and the
poor,
Southern education is
and you should be
fucking
embarrassed as a
kick.
black woman. That's not okay to not think of, to not recognise all of those harms that we have
But
experienced.
But I
hold
do
on.
recognize it.
You don't recognize it and you don't even understand it. You
I
don't
do
have
understand it.
No, you don't.
you
I
don't have
do.
the range.
But
You
I
do
don't
not have the
understand.
range.
What I don't understand in
Miss
2025 is the
Cosmetologist,
capitalism bash. I don't.
Miss Cosmetologist, Miss Cosmetologist. No shade, no tea. But let me explain. Let me explain something to you, okay?
Okay.
Do you know how people start businesses in this country? Do you know how Asian people started businesses in this country?
They were given loans, right?
Were given loans, okay? And where were they allowed to put businesses at?
That I do not know. Cities?
No, honey. White people didn't allow the Asian people to put businesses in their cities. Why was that? Do you
Was it
know?
because of
You
racism?
you don't know.
I don't know.
White
I'm
people
asking.
didn't allow Asian people to put businesses in their cities because when you have a business and it's your business and you're of the same race of that person, the market stay and the money and the wealth stays in that community. If I'm a black person and I build a black business in my black community, I'm going to make money off my people, but also give back because I'm gonna shop at another black business. So
Right.
not only are they stopping black people, if you think they're stopping black people from getting loans to own homes, you think they're giving black people loans to start businesses? Let's think about it for a second.
I
It
don't
wasn't
disagree with
all
I don't
loans.
disagree
Some
No.
with
of it
what you're
was
saying.
Okay,
grants. Some
it's
of it
not
was
about you
grants.
disagreeing. It's about you understanding. That's
I
what
do
they did.
understand. I've worked in
So
finance. I've
how can
worked in finance. I
if you
understand.
understand, then how can you say, oh well, in this thing you can build a business? That's capitalism. Who
Well,
can
not.
build a
Well, let
business?
me say
Not
this.
black people. We
Let me say
can't
this.
even.
Let me
No,
say
no, no.
this.
Let me finish. Let me finish
Go
because
ahead.
you're not getting centered. There's other people listening who may not have known this.
Go
They
ahead.
didn't allow Asian people to start businesses in their community. They said to the Asian people, go start businesses in their fucking communities. That's why you see Asian owned businesses all throughout the black community. Not a lot of black owned businesses. And guess what the Asian people do with their fucking money once they make the money off of the black businesses? They take their fucking money and their ability to own homes and they go buy homes in the fucking white community and raise the value of their community and spend money with them and with each other. So that doesn't perpetuate wealth inside of the black community. Not a black community in Baltimore, not a black community in LA, not a fucking black community in Missouri, not a black community in Alabama, Alaska, wherever the fuck you want to call it. Black people aren't able to get into that market.
Okay.
And
So
let's talk
what's the
about
solution? What's the
cosmetology, Miss
solution?
Cosmetologist,
Okay.
black
So Miss Lamb,
cosmetologist.
what is your idea of the solution?
What's your solution? You
Damn.
tell me your solution.
My solution is entrepreneurship. There are other ways to become an entrepreneur outside of receiving a loan. I'm a walking testimony of it.
Okay, cosmetologist, that's true. Everybody can't be in the beauty industry because that is a very
And
good
everybody
way
can't get a
to build
loan,
wealth,
but people can
right?
work
So
towards.
let's talk about the black cosmet because I was just talking to Dark Horse and them about this the other day. Let's talk about the black cosmetologist. Believe
Dang, you hit the wrong button, Lynn. I wanted to know too, because there's not just loans, that there are grants that they're giving. So some of them are giving free money grants. There's corporate bailouts when they're just giving grants and don't have to pay it back. So the upside down of it is that people are given free money to start businesses, and we're denied for loans that we would pay back with interest. So if that doesn't say systemic racism, I don't know what does. And I wanted to know, because you're a cosmetology student, you said you're in school. What have you been doing for the last 12 years? Because you said you're dirty. What you been doing from 18 to now?
I've been in college. I've been in college since I graduated from high school. Like I said, I'm not the brightest one in the bunch. I've been in college. I've just been in
How you been in
school.
college for 12 years and you
I've
in
been in college for
cosmetology
12 years.
school and you're in college and you're in cosmetology school, but what you been doing for 12 years that you're still in
I've been
school as a
working.
cosmetologist?
I've had multiple jobs. I've worked in finance, fast food.
Capitalism is working on your ass like the
I've
rest of
worked
us. So
in
your
not for
attitude.
profit organizations. I've
What I'm
worked.
saying is that you're proving the prompt that capitalism is working on your ass like the rest of us. So
It
acting like
is
you're
working on me. It
separated,
is working on me. But
acting
I
supporting
have to
supporting
embrace
it.
it.
You don't embrace it when you have not made any progress in 12 years and you're still a student. So I don't know when you're going to graduate from cosmetology school, but it ain't a 4-year program and you wasted 12 years. That's what capitalism does to you. It keeps you down. It keeps you working. It keeps you hustling where you're not getting grants. You're not getting funded and you don't understand that, but you're still supporting it. That's wild.
So what's the
don't get me
solution? Who
started
has
on
the
the
solution?
black hair,
Who has the
the black health.
solution?
What's
You
the
need to find a
solution?
solution, ma'am. You need to find a solution or get the fuck out of
I
our
got my solution. I got my
conversation.
solution.
Good for
Entrepreneurship,
you.
baby.
Good for you. I was
Entrepreneurship.
just good for you. I was just talking
Thank
about
you.
how the black cosmetologists, you know, They're solution oriented for themselves. Black people have adopted the YT man's mindset because you don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself.
That's not
Um,
true. That's not
but
true.
you want to be able to break the black community,
That is
right,
not
of
true.
money. You don't want to give back
This
to the
is
black community.
projection.
What's your solution for the fucking community, not for yourself?
I have
What's your
I have
solution?
listen, like
You
I said,
don't
I
even
worked in
know what systemic racism
I
is. How are you
respect
going to help
not-for-profit
anybody?
organizations, right? I respect
You don't
not-for-profit
even know
organizations.
what we need in this community. How can you help anybody? I'm giving information. What the fuck are you doing? You don't know anything. I just educated a group of probably 25 people on some shit that they didn't know about. What the fuck are you doing?
I
Huh?
have plans. And I
Concepts of
respect
plans.
and I respect my plan. I'm gonna stick to
Good
my
for
scripts.
you. You
Thank
can't even
you.
educate anybody on anything.
That's not true.
Okay?
That's not
Yeah,
true.
you're just yapping. You're a yapper. You don't have solutions.
That's I
I
think
do
My
have
well here well
solutions.
here's
So
my
you're
solution. Black
projecting.
women need
You're
to stick
projecting.
together. Black women need to
Can't
stick
stick to
together and
respectfully, I can't stick together with a woman who doesn't even know what we have to do. And she's berating me, berating us as if we are not doing anything. She
I'm
is
not
treating
saying
us
that
like
y'all not
white
doing
tea
anything. I'm
people.
just saying that I don't
Lady,
bash
get the fuck
capitalism. I
out of here.
respect
You're not
capitalism.
going to gaslight me. Kiss
I'm
my
not
ass.
gaslighting you.
You said that we were up here just complaining. No,
I
bitch,
didn't
we're
say that.
educating. Don't fucking play in my face. Don't fucking play in my
Don't
face.
play in
Your
mine, honey.
noodle brained ass needs to shut the
like
fuck
let's
up. You're
move on,
30 years
Lynn.
old, and no, don't tell me what the fuck to do.
Don't
I'm
tell
just
me
saying
what to
let's move
do.
Don't
on.
tell
Just
me what to
Don't
do.
tell me what to
No, I
do.
don't want to move on because this noodle brain bitch got me fucked up. Stop fucking
You
playing
got
in my
yourself
face
fucked up. You
on
got
this
yourself fucked
Sunday.
up.
You dumb ass Missouri educated bitch. You've been in college for 12 years and don't know what systemic racism is. Talking about we need to pull ourselves up from the bootstraps. Kiss my ass, bitch. About I'm an entrepreneur my way out of it. You should have been doing it then if you had the fucking
I
education.
have been doing it. I've been
Since
an
you got your
entrepreneur for
degree and
10
know
years.
every fucking thing. Right. But what the fuck are you giving back to the community? You can't even
I'm
teach nobody else
lost.
how to fucking do it.
I'm giving back
Shut
to the
the fuck
community what I'm
up.
giving back to the
Shut the
community.
fuck up. You don't know what you're
Do you
talking
really want to
about.
know or do you want to
Kiss your
argue?
kiss my
she wants to
I know you're not
argue.
doing shit.
She wants to
I know
argue
you're
because
not
she
doing
tried to go
shit.
there with me. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
I know. Kiss my ass, you too, lady.
you
Stop
tried to
fucking
go
cutting
there
me
with me when you
off.
said lesbians were misogynistic. You tried to
And
go
they
there with me. So
are.
here's my
And
question
they
to you. How
are.
many
And
rich
they
men do you think
are.
that are out
And
there
they
that are willing
are.
to marry your
And they
ass?
are. And they
How many rich
are.
men do
And
you
they
think that are
are.
out there
And
willing to
they
marry your
are.
ass?
And
Because
they
you tried to
are.
put that out there on Front Street.
Lesbians
Oh,
not
well,
are
you need to
lesbians
just
not
find you a
misogynistic?
man. You need to
Are
find you a
studs
rich
not
man to do this and that.
misogynistic?
Girl, that sprinkle,
Are
sprinkle
studs not
message do not work for
misogynistic?
every woman. You do so
Hold
much
on, mister.
complaining.
Hold on, mister. Look, your misogyny about to come out right now. What I say, lesbians are misogynistic. Look what you did. You sound like a red pill fucking man. It came up out of you. So I was right. Lesbians are
No,
misogynistic.
look at how
Cause
you're
look
talking
at
to her, and then
you.
you put everyone
You're
on mute when
not
you
talking,
can't get what the fuck you want,
bitch.
bitch. I'm not gonna sit
Bitch,
here and let you do me like that.
oh, fucking go
On
somewhere else
God,
then,
I'm not
hoe.
gonna sit
Cause
here and
guess
let you
what?
do me.
I just did it. Go somewhere else then,
You
bitch.
haven't given
Go
any
somewhere
solutions.
else. I don't give a fuck. Go somewhere else.
Move out of America.
Move around. Move around. Now you sound like a white tea person. So not only are you a misogynistic
Get the
lesbian, you're
fuck out
an
of America.
anti-black lesbian. You're
If
both.
you got a problem with it, get the fuck out of
Now,
America.
okay.
Go
So
find you
you
some
don't have any
opportunities out of
power
America,
here.
bitch. There are plenty of black
You
women
don't.
thriving outside of America. Move out of.
That's how that
Damn.
works.
Not the lesbians
That's how
acting
that
up.
works. Yeah, cause she talking about, oh yeah, that's why I'm a lit. I don't even mess with men. That's why I'm a lit. Cause men don't like men. And men treat you like this. Men treat you like that. It's true, men do. But if you're not hip to the fact that lesbians do that as well, baby, we can't have no genuine, honest conversation. Cause let's talk about the misogyny and internalized misogyny
But
within the
you're the only one being
LGBTQIA plus
disrespectful, and that's why we
community.
can't have
Honey, honey,
a
honey, no, you were
conversation.
disrespect. No,
You've
honey,
been
you
cutting
were
me off.
disrespectful. Honey,
You've
you
been
were
cutting me
disrespectful
off,
when you said
cussing
that
me
black
out.
people have a fair chance in America to do what they have to
I would
do.
never
When
follow your
that's not
influence. You
true.
disrespect.
I
You
don't
just
give a
threw
fuck.
me through the
Bitch,
mud.
you
I would
can't even
never follow your
you don't
influence.
have the range. You don't have the range to follow my
What
influence.
kind of
You don't
range do
know
I
what
need?
systemic baby, you don't know what systemic racism is.
So,
You
so,
don't know
so
what
tell me about it.
capitalism really is.
I experienced it. I
You
cannot
said
tell you
white
what it is.
you
Listen, I can't
said
tell you
white
what it is, but I know that I'm
people gained
experiencing
wealth
it.
through free trade in America. The free trade being the slave trade. Shut the fuck up talking to me. You're dumb. Go get some more education. See why
I'm
you dropped
skilled.
out.
I might be
You're
dumb, but I'm
dumb.
skilled,
You're
honey.
dumb.
I'm
You're dumb.
skilled.
You're
I'm
dumb.
skilled. What
It
about it? I'm
doesn't matter.
skilled.
You're
I'm
you're you're
skilled.
an anchor on the community.
I'm very skilled,
You're an
honey.
anchor on the community.
So be it.
Cause you, I know you don't give a fuck. Like I said earlier. So why are you mad? You're
I'm
confirming what
not
I said. You
mad.
don't give a fuck about the
Miss Lynn,
community.
you're the angry one.
You don't give a fuck about the community, lady. But stop addressing me. I'ma let them talk. Don't fucking address me, or you gonna be like that lady
Well,
down
bitch,
there.
don't
Talk to
address
somebody
me.
else.
Stop
I
talking to
won't.
me.
I won't. Watch your fucking mouth. Go do your fucking
Watch
hair. How
your
about
mouth.
that?
Watch
How
your
about
mouth. How about you
that?
stop talking and stick to the
No.
script about capitalism?
No. Now you can go to hell too.
Damn. Um, y'all gotta stop using that talking point that the men use, trying to weaponize women's emotions. Expressing emotions is the most human thing you can do, and it's always interesting when y'all see someone expressing one of many emotions. Y'all like to try to weaponize that. It's weird. Y'all might need to get some milk. A lot of stuff is pointless. Ma'am, you saying it was pointless. But I support her message. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna go ahead and support it because y'all stupid. But yeah, capitalism.
They keep saying I was disrespectful, bitch. Fuck you. I can be as disrespectful as I want to be. Y'all the hoes who subscribe to respectability politics. Fuck y'all. She over here talking about slavery was a free trade and white people got it. She don't even know why white people got ahead in America and saying that black people have the ability to basically pull themselves up to the by the bootstraps. And I'm being disrespectful. Fuck out of here. Y'all want to have these conversations with pinkies crossed and that bitch is playing in my face. Fuck out of here. And then the other lady coming up here talking about, oh, yeah. See, that's why I don't even deal with men. I don't even deal with men because they just crazy. You know, they do this, they do that. Lady, what are you talking about?
I
Lesbian
think
women do the same thing.
I think y'all have to start being able to pick up on the subtle disrespect or like the things that people are saying that's harmful so that you won't clutch your pearls. Um I think a lot of times the spectators have a hard time understanding what these conversations actually feel like and be able to really conceptualize what's going on. If a person this is why we are having these conversations about capitalism now. I was watching something where they was breaking down like how in the South it went from, you know, Reconstruction to the political climate of voting and registering to vote and the crimes that happened with that, and how the politicians are the binary party system was switched from the Republican Party representing Lincoln and then turning into Nixon and Reagan. And a lot of stuff that happened was you had the governor of Alabama who would say something like segregation someday, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. And then you turn around and that transcends into a politician like Reagan that says make America great again, and y'all don't understand that those are the same things. Y'all are hyped up about what Wallace said, and you miss what Reagan said because y'all are so busy looking for a certain type of inflammatory language that shakes something in you instead of looking for what the language is and what it's doing. That's why we don't understand redlining. That's why we don't understand like some of these passive aggressive things. That's why we don't understand the undertones or overtones. We don't see it. We will hear a person say something and sound very respectful, like they are interviewing on CNN News, and you will see someone else have a correct response to it, and you're more upset with the response to the bullshit than you are with the bullshit that was spewed. Like, come on, we gotta figure it out. Cause I need to be mad as a motherfucker. Oh, I'm trying to figure out why you mad, why you not mad. And the reason why a lot of y'all are not mad is because y'all are not conscious. Y'all ain't conscious. Y'all don't know what the fuck is going on. So I don't know what happened, but I do know this. I'ma curse a bitch out when they curse me out. And when you start talking that slick shit to me, you are cursing me out. I'ma clock it. If you
Mm,
don't like it, you don't like it.
I did it too before they got into it. She said that I was being disrespectful to her. And I said it. I said the thing that you said, Rika. I don't care how you wrap it up. People get up here with their syrupy sweet voices and say the most harmful shit. So my reaction is going to be to the content of your message, not how it was delivered. So if you up here completely dismissing that slavery is what built this country, that to me is a violation. And the fact that it don't hype you up, the fact that you don't get upset about it means that you are beyond help. You're the walking unalive. You're the zombies we're talking about out here. So yes, if somebody comes up here and says something, I'm always gonna go at their ass every damn time. And I don't care that people go, well, as long as you say whatever harmful shit in a sweet tone, I'm good with it. You the walking unalive too. So the people in the comments, that's what respectability politics is. It's somebody serving you shit. But as long as they pour syrup over it, you're gonna fucking eat it up. Y'all gotta wake the fuck up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep.
and the only person who can tell me to move on from a conversation is Tara when it's her panel, Drika, or fucking Dark Horse. Y'all can't tell me a motherfucking thing to move on from shit. Don't tell me to move on. If y'all like respectability politics and people to sit with their pinkies up, many post lives, go over there. Go take your ass over back over there with yellow chicken them. I don't give a fuck. I don't gotta respect the goddamn person who playing in my fucking face. And y'all can stop playing in my face too. Talking about let's move on. No, no. Go over there. Because if you play in any of our faces over here, you're going to get cussed out. Period.
Yeah, and that's why I thought when I see this prompt here, I thought this was an important conversation. I hate that you have these thought provoking topics that's supposed to get our head out the sand, and people want to sit with this respectable and this. You have to be proper about how you approach these things, and y'all are missing what is going on. Like, women and children are being harmed because we are not correlating these things. We are not connecting the dots. We are putting ourselves in these situations where we are so busy trying to be these perfect victims instead of being mad as a motherfucker. Like, capitalism is contributing to a lot of things that's happening. It's a reason for it. It's designed to do certain things. These things are intertwined. Same thing with religion and how it's put into place, and how they sprinkled in capitalism in religion in these religious literatures. Like, I don't know what would be wrong. I don't know what y'all be thinking. Y'all be so mad about the wrong shit. This lady, from my understanding, because I heard some of it, but I couldn't tell who was talking. And from what my girl Tam said, they followed each other, so they must be one brain cell together. But they, if you think that we can just take on what the YT people did to us and try to fit in, you losing it. back when they were trying to integrate or after Reconstruction, I can't remember. And if that lady Nick or Mim or whichever one it was, if they could be up here stupid on a Sunday morning, I can fuck up too. But one of them times it was a freedmen coalition to help men get acclimated and assimilated to YT culture. And those things, that small group, that coalition to help put black men into, oh, that's what it was after Reconstruction. It was getting them assimilated into YT society so that they could be sharecroppers. If y'all don't understand how sharecropping and what that system was, how it fucked up generation after generation. If y'all don't know that and y'all want to play patty cake with it, then I don't know what to tell y'all. Capitalism is a motherfucker. And y'all wanna talk about, well, we gotta play nice. That shit weird. I don't know. I don't know. It's disgusting. Heartbreaker, don't start. But go ahead, answer the problem, Heartbreaker. It's your
I was
No,
turn.
no,
I was
no,
agreeing with you.
no, no, no.
No.
Heartbreak. You came up here to apologize.
Oh, my bad, Tara.
Heartbreak. I'm mute, nigga. You came up here to apologize or no?
I already did in the comments. She said something
Who
I
you
agree with.
apologize to?
I don't know. Mrs. I don't already know what you talking about.
No, but did she hear the apology?
I don't know. I put in the comments when she was talking. Hopefully she read that
Go
joint.
ahead. She listening.
Oh no.
Go ahead. You can't apologize.
Was I really wrong though?
This nigga about to get blocked. You the fucking lie.
I can't believe he did that. I'm lying.
No, he can come back with me and apologize. Um, and mean that shit. Fuck you, bitch. You're not gonna come in here and talk to people like you crazy and come back. That's crazy.
Damn, Tara.
That's what niggas do all the time after they cuss you out. They wake up the next day like, what we going out to eat? They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They meant what they said. I tell people all the time, people mean what they say. Mean
Mm-hmm.
it. Mean it through and through. I'm good. I want you to stand on it. Standing on it works better for me anyway. Them covert motherfuckers is hard to catch.
Mm-hmm. It's sad. This is difficult. Y'all be tripping. But yeah, because I wanted to address the prompt. Because I agree with it, right? I know we kind of was addressing. I was addressing some other things, but yeah, it I remember, like your video was so good, Tara, talking about like with the monogamy and how these conditionings happen because a lot of what men or how men like to operate is in desperation because they're in desperation. They're desperate for a lot of different things, and they want other people to be desperate. They want to be able to have the power to put people in desperation. And if I need two incomes or if I need another person for my survival of my basic needs, we ain't even talking about the pleasures of life. We talking about surviving. And whether y'all know it or not, surviving is not living. That's not living. So you want us to be stressed about survival so that we can feel obligated to be in a relationship with a man so that we can have our basic needs met. And that's always been the allure of capitalism and its system, in the same way that when I was talking about like the Freedmen Coalition, them it's always been this push that no matter how low you are, man, you will be the king of your house. You will have authority in your home. That's the one thing you can lean on. I'm going to give you plantation money. You're gonna be at risk every time you see me on the sidewalk. That could be your last day living. But the one thing you can do is when you go into your shack, home, shed, wherever you go, and it's a woman and child in there, you will have authority and dominion over her. So it don't matter if I'm graping you raw, your every hole in your body, I'm filling up. It don't matter because at least you can slap around your wife and children. They're yours. That's your property. That's where you can feel like a man, whether you are or not. So it's always been that. That's why. That's why a lot of these things have continued because men want something. They want to feel something. They are not interested in joining us in fighting against some of this stuff. And then there's always gonna be some women who are going to it's always gonna be some women. Hey girl. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go. No, I gotta go.
I done made all the points.
What you mean? You made all the points.
I made all my points. Like I had some points I wanted to make, and I made them.
Thanks for allowing me to crash out on your panel.
Yeah, I think you owe me 2 drops. You definitely crashed
You
out.
got him. You got him.
I feel like you needed that though. I don't know what the fuck going on, but I listen. I love you for you.
Baby came in on 10. I tell it to people all the time. As a fighter, you never know what that person got going on, and you be like, "Damn, all I did was, call you out your name," and you be like, "No, I had beat you for the last 5 people that I've been in with, been into it with for the past 2 months." And sometimes that happens. It happens, and you come in at the right time, and you be like, "That ain't Warren. That you don't know. You don't know how many arguments and how many fights somebody done pass up on before you laid yourself out there pros to get it." And some people will continue to poke. And she was poking in the comments. She came up and kept poking on the panel, and I knew she was trolling or what have you. But the fact is that she wanted to, what we call double down. So when you double down, you get what you get.
Was
I
she
had a baby
trolling?
crash off. She was trolling.
Oh
Anybody
well,
who doesn't
she
who doesn't
see.
acknowledge slavery and the impact they had on this country is a troll. Because it's not an opinion thing. Anytime somebody wants to contradict or wants to argue facts, that's trolling to me. Because some things are opinion based, some things are preferences, but you can't preference and you can have an opinion when it comes to how this country was built. Like I'm not asking for your opinion, so arguing it back and forth, I consider that trolling.
Yeah, but she ain't know nothing. That shit was crazy. Black people not supporting like so it's different type of communism. Um, the type of communism I support is called anarcho communism, which essentially means like get rid of all hierarchies. Um, like fuck this system. But to not even like support socialism is crazy. Cause like the thing is, people who think that I got the way out, and then they gatekeep information. They ain't no better than nobody else. Cause like you willing to cause oppression to other people if you can get a leg up. You ain't shit. And yeah, for her to say she 30, she in cosmetology school, college for 12 years is crazy. But all them jobs she listed, so you haven't even had like work stability. Like your shit been in state was like that. She went off all that shit she said, ma'am. That your resume look like shit.
Yeah, you're proving the prompt. That's what we're proving. You're proving what we're saying about how capitalism is bad. You're a victim of it. But the best victim to have is someone who's a victim of the system and is still actively supporting it. That's weird. Weird is that you're still down here with us. You're not even speaking from a place of privilege. You may be lower than some people around here. So this idea that people aren't doing enough when you are actively not doing enough to win in the system you claim, if you just apply yourself, it'll work. You've been applying yourself for 12 years and it ain't working. So it was just too many contradictions for me to believe that it was real. Some people do have, privilege, and they do have things that are more, so they do look down. But you being side by side and looking down, it's not making sense. But that's kind of what men do. That idea that I just need somebody to be under me. I just need somebody to look down on. I just got to get this, and my only reason for getting it is not for the community. My only reason to get this is so I can subjugate somebody else, particularly my direct family. That's what we are fighting against. And that's how these relationships tie into capitalism. It's not just, oh, we're going to struggle together. It's no, I need you because this is the representation that I have maybe leveled up a little bit. And I'm not in that same struggle because I got people who report to me that I own. And it's just a massa all over again.
Yo, what's good? Hello?
Hello.
I don't know how to speak.
I ain't gotta speak to you. Go ahead and answer the prompt.
Why you mad, bro? Or you don't like men? I can't get a hello, how you doing? I can't get none of that.
Not with my hug at, nigga. That's crazy. You wanted
I
them.
said a
Go
hello.
ahead,
I
answer
ain't
the
say no
prompt,
fucking
sir.
hug. What the fuck you talking
Answer the
about?
prompt.
Alright, yeah, you already know I'm coming up around bullshit. I just disagree with this shit. Like, why do you keep making these dumbass topics? Capitalism is not forcing men to get in relationships with y'all. It's actually the other way. Y'all can't survive without us. Y'all struggle without us. You need somebody to think for you. You need somebody to come in and put order in your life.
And you need a place to stay because she got order in her life, and she got a bed, and she got cook sets and towels and
Most
washcloths. That's
women,
why you need somewhere to stay.
most
Hold on,
women
sir. Sir, how
are
you
more
gonna
prone
put
to being
order?
homeless
Hold on,
than me.
sir.
We go
How
out
you
there
gonna
and get it
put, sir? How you gonna put order in a woman's life?
by giving structure,
All right, just describe the structure.
rules, and regulations,
Like
like how to act, how to talk,
how
what
to act
you,
and talk at home.
how to act in the world, and how to talk to other people. If you if you have certain weaknesses about yourself, a man is going to fix that for you, and that's what you got him for.
Like, give us an example.
He's going to give you some wisdom,
Like what?
any type of wisdom about life.
Like, give us some wisdom, nigga.
Look, you trying to dig for some now? No, you
No,
got to
you got
fuck with to do that.
wisdom. It don't
I
sound
don't
like
give
you
out
know
wisdom
much
for
or
free.
nothing.
I don't give
So
out wisdom for free. I ain't your man.
you ain't got none. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay, but you got some. This your
rules and
wisdom right
regulation
here.
at home is crazy.
This
Y'all
your
want to
wisdom right
live
here.
in prisons. You grew up in a prison, and now you want to live in one.
Grew up in a prison.
Yeah, you talking about how to act and talk at home is crazy.
See, it seems like a prison because your whole essence is just chaos and anarchy.
So
That's
you
what men
just
are here.
you
That's what men are
you
here
make
for.
claims without supporting it with details. You don't say nothing. You just be like saying shit. You
I
can't
did.
back nothing up. Because usually somebody make a point and then they support it with it's called the supporting details. You're not doing that.
I did though.
No, you didn't. You said a bunch of vague bullshit.
Okay.
You lack structure, sir.
If you can't picture it in your mind, I can't help you.
You supposed to paint the picture.
I can't help you.
That's the
You didn't
problem right
describe
there.
I can't help
anything.
you. Like I don't know how.
Nobody asked you for the help though. You the one that's lost. Think you will help
No,
somebody.
you're the one that's lost. I told you my point. You want me to go even further in detail? I can't help you, man.
We got dumbass dudes like this in the world that want to teach our daughters that they need to have a man to control and manipulate their life in order to have a
I
good
didn't
life.
say I didn't
And
say
then,
anything about
hey,
control.
real quick. And
I
then
didn't
you
say
said,
anything
I
about
don't give out
control.
wisdom for free.
I said
That's the
give
problem because,
order.
hey, I said shut up because
And
I'm
hold
talking.
up. And control
And he said
control
that
is
he
not a
doesn't give out
bad
wisdom for
control is
free.
not a bad
Hey,
thing.
can somebody mute him
See, you
really
got
quick, please?
dumbass niggas like this that think control is a bad
Somebody
thing.
mute him really
You're
quick,
being
please.
controlled. You didn't know that?
Hold up, Red. He was
What?
talking.
Fred think he hot today. But then he say, don't give out wisdom for free. And that's the problem. I mentioned earlier, mindsets like Rockefeller, where if I can keep everybody else down, then I can rise to the top. That's an issue.
That's because he a loser. Nobody
How am I
expect.
trying to
Ain't
how am I
nobody,
trying to keep her down?
sir, ain't nobody asking no loser to for no
That's
goddamn
hey,
structure.
you see, you don't know your value as a man. I'm here to teach you. I'm younger
What's
than
your
you.
value? What's your value as a man? Because y'all didn't care that I got
You don't
snatched
know
up.
your
What's your
value.
value?
That order, that structure that we come with, that's our
We.
value. That's our value to women.
Who is we?
That attention we give them, that's our
You
value.
say the value and the
And
structure that we come with,
I
but
don't give
why
out
why are
that for
most men
free.
losing then?
That's like a
Why are
girl.
most men losing?
That's like a woman just giving out her pussy for free.
I'm asking you a question. Why are
I
most
don't
men
give out
losing?
my value to just any
What
woman.
structure? What value?
You gotta be my woman.
What structure and what value when most men are losing?
When most men are losers, that what you just
Most men,
said.
yeah, most men are losers. Most men are losing. What structure and value are you
So
talking
are you
about?
losing?
I said most men are losing. What
And
structure
what
and
is
what
that based
value are you
off
talking
of?
about?
What is that based off of?
Well, you said the structure that we come with, the value that we come with to provide for a woman. What
No,
structure
you
and
said
value
Based
men
are
off
you
are.
of
You
talking
said
about?
men are
statistics.
losers. How are we
Based off
losing?
of
Where do you
statistics.
get that from?
Statistics. What are
Yeah,
you talking
where?
about?
Yeah, where?
Where? Where?
What's the
Online.
statistics? What's the statistics?
The median income for a black man in America is 53,000 a year. How can you
You
support
know
a
we make more than
family?
women. We make more than women.
So, so
So how are we
we're not
losers
talking
when we
about
make more
women.
than women?
The women losing too. The prompt is about capitalism.
That goes to what
No.
I said earlier.
Next,
He believes that because someone else is
next,
doing
Women
something
are
less, that means
struggling.
he's winning.
Women are
and so
struggling.
are men, and
And
so are
men are
men,
not.
and
Not
so are men,
no we're not.
and so are men.
No we're not.
How much? What's the median income for
We're not
black
struggling
women?
like women. We're not
What's
struggling
the
like
median
women.
income for
See
black women,
the reason why women are losing and not at the same level as men because you're
sir?
not a man. You just not a man.
Sir,
You're
that's
not gonna do the hard
and
jobs.
and and water is
You
wet,
do
and the
things
sky
based
is
off your
blue,
feelings.
and air you can
It's a
breathe, and
reason why
hair you can
most men are
brush,
doctors. It's a reason
and
why
and
most men
and
work in construction
and shit
and y'all do the
stinks.
easy nurturing jobs like nursing and shit like that.
Sir,
Y'all be
you're
changing
not a
people.
doctor or a nurse.
You damn right.
You're a garbage delivery man. You pick up garbage and deliver it to a
And you work at the
landfill.
strip club.
I do down at the Pank.
So how are you talking down on somebody when you work at the strip
His
club?
You
hand.
the
I'm not
one talking
understanding.
down on nurses.
I just want to mention that he
I'm
said
not
what he
talking
got
down
to
on
give
nurses.
is to tell somebody how to act.
I'm telling you the reality of the world. I'm telling you what
When he
women
said
do.
what
I'm
you got to
telling you
give to a
why
man, what you got to give
women
to a
are not
And
woman.
men.
He
he
said
clearly
I'm
don't
gonna
know
tell her
what doctors
I'm gonna tell her
and
how to act.
nurses do.
We just want to know when he said what you gonna provide. He said he gonna tell a woman how to act.
How to
We know right
act.
now that you have no resources and you have nothing to provide. Like I
Who don't
said,
got
you
no
looking for a
resources?
couch.
You
You looking
don't
for
have no
a
resources.
couch.
Okay,
You looking for a couch.
first of all,
Hold on, Red.
hold
Hold
up.
on, Red. Hold on, because I got a question. So he was talking down on nurses and doctors, or just nurses?
I wasn't
Just
talking
he
down on
said
nurses.
nurses. He said nurses do the easy job. When it's funny
You must
because
be a
if
nurse.
he hold on, it's funny. And if I was a nurse, I would make exponentially more than you.
But
Okay.
so he said, what about
I'm
the
not talking
nurses?
about you. I'm talking about
Hold
Drika.
on, hold on.
Drika, you must be
So
a nurse.
nurses, okay. Anyway, so it's funny that he said that doctors do more than nurses, right? And that most men are
Uh
doctors, is what he said, and nurses and women take the easy job like nurses. If you knew anything about the medical industry, then you
is it
would
harder?
know
So you
that
telling me a
nurses
nurse is
do
harder
the
than
most
being a
work.
doctor, a surgeon?
So
You telling me that's
fucking
harder?
dude.
You telling me that's harder?
Fucking all
You finna
doctors
sit
are
up here and tell
surgeons,
me that's
sir.
harder?
Sir, all
What are
doctors
you
aren't
arguing right
surgeons.
now? You just disagreeing because you don't like
Surgeons
what I'm
are
saying.
surgeons, sir. Surgeons are surgeons. All doctors aren't surgeons.
I didn't say. Did I say
Do
that?
we
That didn't come out
agree?
my mouth. Stop
It
making
did.
assumptions.
It did come out of your mouth
No, it did not.
because it did. Because
Put that on
I
your.
said that nurses do more work than doctors, and you said, "So are you going to
Put
tell
that
me
on
that
our
a nurse
kids.
works
I mean, put
harder
that on
than a
your kids.
surgeon?"
Put that on your
You put
kids. I
that
said
on
that.
your kids.
Put that on your kids. I said that. On my kids, I
All
didn't
I
say
put it
that.
on your kids. I put
On
it on
my
your
kids, I didn't say
kids.
that.
Yeah, I put it on your
so
kids.
what you do? So I might have missed that. What you do for a living, Red?
She mad. She mad. I got my own trucking business, and I'm a bodyguard.
He a truck
Oh,
driver.
okay. Oh, so he done did some time. Okay, okay. That makes
Hell
sense.
yeah, that made me stronger.
Well,
I turned into a diamond. All that pressure turned me into a diamond.
no, you was getting told to bend over and cough at
I
any
was
given
doing the
time.
bending.
One of them country
I was
bumpkins
doing
wanted
the
to tell
bending.
you.
Ain't no nigga
You
touch me.
you was yeah. You if you did time, you got touched. You got touched.
So,
You got
so
treated like an
you think that
animal.
by every man that go in? So your
Every man,
husband,
every man,
your sons,
every man. Hold
your
on,
daddy,
sir. Every man who goes into
they all got bent over.
intake, every man who goes into intake has to bend over and cough for the officer. They have to strip naked, bend over and make that thing wink. That's just the beginning.
And
That's just the beginning.
don't you get checkups? Don't the doctor
No,
do that to you too?
getting told because they want to shake
What
you
are you talking
down and they
about?
want to check you to bend over at will, excuse me, is not going to the doctor. You was getting treated like an animal,
It's still the
and
same
you think
thing.
that's something?
It's still
No,
the
no.
same thing.
So
Hey,
that's what y'all. So that's what. Hold on,
women get raped.
red. You gotta stop trying to overtalk. You gotta stop trying to overtalk when
Yeah, I'm
somebody
over
else
talk the
talking.
bullshit because nobody need to hear
No,
what you
you don't
saying.
get to overtalk the bullshit. You the
Yeah,
bullshit. You
you
don't
full
want
of
nobody to
shit.
know your secret. We don't know what actually happened to you,
That's your
sir.
you
You telling
projecting
it.
right now.
You went to
You know some
prison, not
niggas that
me.
did some shit.
You went to
Your
prison, not
last
me.
boyfriend probably
It
got
don't
fucked in
matter
the
if
pen.
10 boyfriends went to prison. I
You
didn't.
you projecting right
You
now.
did. You
That's you
went to
talk about your
prison.
experience.
You went to prison. Every time you
I
hear
never went to
security, you get
prison.
scared.
I never went to
Every time
prison.
you hear
I'm a
security,
good
you
boy.
shake.
I'm a
You
good
hear
boy
a
out here,
motherfucker
man.
walking down the aisle with some keys, you get nervous. You get nervous when you hear some keys jangling. Bitch, not me. It's you.
You
That's
get
y'all
nervous when I
problem.
come through.
Y'all always want to
You clutch your
compete
pearls when I
with
come through.
women. Y'all always want to compete
You
with
walk
women. But let's talk about all the men
if
who
I'm
didn't
walking
have to
down
go
the
to
street,
prison.
you cross the street. Cause
Go
I'm walking through your
ahead, prison
path.
punk. Go ahead, let us know. You want to
You gotta
talk? Go
get
ahead,
you gotta get a
talk.
man to
You
fight your
got it.
battles. It's okay though. It's okay. You'll be alright.
He feel like a big man because he got all his shit taken in prison. I
Ain't no
feel the
man
fuck
fight
out of
his battle
that.
for him in
Rise up,
prison.
rise up,
Y'all missed
rise
what he just
Ain't,
up,
said. Hold
little
on,
bitch.
y'all missed what he just said. Y'all missed what he just said. That's why I wanted him to talk. He went to prison, okay? He went to prison and he just said, because he want to compete and try to dominate women, because he can't do it with men. He's okay with men. He'll bend over, bend forward, catch his ankles. He'll catch the wall for men. But he just said, oh, you mad because when you walking down the street, you gotta clutch your purse. He
Yeah.
think it's funny. He think it's funny that women are scared of men.
He think it's funny women scared of him because he's a monster. He's a deplorable human being, a monster, a criminal.
Y'all are
He's a
easily frightened.
criminal.
A bug scare y'all, bro.
Nah, monster scary. You a
Nobody's
monster.
proud to scare the
You a
woman. To
monster.
scare
And
a woman.
this why I'm glad we coming to the age to recognizing these men are not victims. I was just telling this
I am a victim.
hold on. Hold on, no, my bad. Go ahead, Red. Tell us how you a victim. Go ahead, because I wanna
I'm a
point something
victim. I've
out.
been victimized by more women than men. I've been molested by women. I've been talked down on. Women been throwing shit in my face that I confided in them in private. Go talk to your husband. Go talk to your sons. They'll tell you the same thing. Women are covert demons, bro. Y'all do shit, but y'all snakes. Y'all do shit behind niggas' backs. Y'all play friendly, smiling in nigga face just to get what you want.
But ain't nobody victimized you when you was in lockup though.
Yeah, he got
I was
victimized
never
and
in
locked
locked up,
up.
so I could never be victimized.
That nigga been in prison. I ain't stupid. And if you ain't been, you need to be.
No, I ain't never been to prison.
They need to lock you
You
up right
want
now.
you wishing that on me.
I wish you would.
It's
Yeah,
okay, but everything you wish on
yeah,
me is gonna
yeah.
come 10
I
times
want,
fold on me.
I want you to go to prison because
Why
you a
you acting like
monster.
this on this Sunday? This Sunday morning, this Sunday
And
evening.
God's will,
That's a damn shame.
mashallah, you'll go to
You a
prison.
Christian?
I am.
You ain't no fucking Christian. Shut your bitch ass up.
Your mama,
Your granny,
your granny, your
your
pep,
daddy.
your
All right,
granddaddy.
can we talk about something? I already dominated her. It's okay.
No, nigga, you dumb. We can't
That's
talk
why you
about
need to
nothing
be
with you
locked
because
up.
you dumb.
That's why you need to be
What?
locked up.
I'm never gonna
Stupid.
be locked
You
up. I'm
stupid.
never gonna be
No,
locked up.
no, it's going to happen because
I might get
the
some ice
things you
cream.
say are
It's
what you
never gonna
do.
Have you
happen.
had
You
that ice
can
cream
wish it.
before?
You
No,
can wish it on
you
a
are what
star.
you say.
You can pray to
No,
your
you
you
are
can
what
pray to
you
your
say.
God.
Whatever you think about women lets us
It's
know
never gonna
that
happen.
your time is coming.
It's
You're
never
gonna have
gonna
that
happen.
mug shot.
If my time is coming,
Exactly.
is my time coming, your time coming for
Girl,
sure.
he lying.
Because
He
what goes
did go
around
to
come around.
No,
prison.
I
He
don't
a
talk
prison
about dominating
punk.
nobody. So I ain't gotta go to prison because I don't
Nah,
talk about
whatever you
dominating
doing
nobody.
behind closed
I talk
doors,
about scaring nobody when
that's
they
gonna
walking
come
down the
back on
street.
you.
That's what you do.
That's
So
gonna come
that's why I
back
said
on you.
you're getting locked up. We ain't saying the
I mean,
same
she
thing.
started being
So you're saying
disrespectful.
all that stuff about dominating people. People like you are gonna go exactly where you belong, behind some damn
Women
bars.
like being dominated though. Am I wrong for giving you what you want?
That's grape talk. You getting locked up. Call the police.
Look, I can beat my woman ass and she ain't gonna press charges on me. Cause that's what she want.
That's good for you, baby.
Hell
Okay,
yeah, y'all trying to be next?
somebody check his hard drive. He sounds real dangerous. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
not
trying to
you. I'm
be
not
next so
speaking to
I can
you.
have
She
a
Don't
won't
reason
speak
to
to you. Hey, Summer.
don't. Yeah, hey, I
put
wasn't
your
speaking
mama
to
on
you
the
at all.
front
Gross. Don't
row.
speak to me. Don't ever speak to me. Y'all, guess what happened today?
Why I can't speak to you?
I went and got some coffee, right? And I'm sitting down because it's kind of outside, right? And a bee was in my coffee cup. I done drank. I had a bee in my mouth. I ate a bee. I was like, this is a sign from Oshun. I don't know what's happening. I'm so disturbed. It was delicious too. I had to put it down. Oh,
You got something sweet in your mouth.
you quit speaking to me. I do not consent to speak to you. You are dangerous. You're a predator. You're gross. Don't talk to me.
You think that's gonna
Everybody,
stop me?
everybody else doing?
Hey, imagine your logic is so dumb.
Oh
If I'm
my.
a predator,
God, he is sick. He wants some attention so bad. Damn, he desperate. Damn.
Capitalism.
why you come around
Capitalism.
predators if I'm a predator?
Capitalism is forcing us into relationships in order to survive. Sad. I think it was a sign from Oshun. I keep running into bees the last couple of days, but anyway. Yeah. So people end up having to be with somebody or can't leave because it costs too much, the rent's too high. But the trick is you can actually stay with a woman, a friend, a cousin, a neighbor, you know. It don't have to be a man. You can split the bills with anybody and be much happier.
Women don't want to split bills. That's not what y'all looking for.
That's not what. Look, sir, we don't want what you want. The stuff you want, the type of man you want, is a man that be dominating you and have you grabbing your ankles at 3 a.m. We don't want that, sir. We don't want what you want. We don't want
But
somebody
you already have
who's
you already have that.
stretching us out. That's what you want, sir. We
You
get it.
already have that
You
with
desperate.
your boyfriend or husband. That's that guy that you keep trying to push on me. That's not me. Y'all want a man to take care of y'all.
We do. We want you to do it.
Y'all not looking
We
to
want
grow
you to
with a
do it.
man. Y'all not looking to
Mhm.
build with a man.
I'm looking for a man to grow
You
my
looking you
pockets, starting
looking
with you.
to you looking to
Grow
be
my
taken care
pockets.
of.
I
It's
want you to take
okay.
care of me.
Just admit
I'm
that.
telling you. I'm
Just admit.
admitting to you that I want you to take care of me.
Okay,
Send me
that's a
some money,
bet.
Red.
Bet. That's a bet. I don't want
All
to take care
right.
of you though.
Okay, well then shut up. Shut up if you don't want to do
Do
it.
okay. Answer this. Answer this.
No,
Do you know how to
no.
take order? Do you know how to talk to a man? Are you
I'm
even
talking to you
the
right
slightest
now.
intrigued on how to treat a man?
I'm talking to you right now. I'm treating
Okay.
you right
No, I say,
now.
do you know how to talk to a man?
Yeah, I'm talking to you right now.
Okay, you don't know how to
You a
talk to a
man?
man.
You a
So why
man?
why would I want to take care of somebody like that?
You a man?
that don't care about men and don't know how to
You
talk
a
to a man.
man?
Are you a woman? Are you a man?
Yeah,
Yeah, you coming off like one, very masculine.
I know. I love being masculine. Do you?
Yeah,
What is your definition of masculinity? I want to see if it
I like I
mirrors
like being I
mine.
like being feminine too.
Ooh,
I like being
tell
soft
me
with
how
my
you
woman.
like being feminine. Tell me how you soft.
I like being soft with my woman.
What you do? How
I
you be
like being
soft?
a little spoon sometimes.
That's it. You like getting your toes and nails done?
No, I don't do that. That's gay.
No, it's not. So you look, you got calluses and stuff on your feet.
A man doesn't have to go to the nail salon to get his feet
Mm-mm.
done. That's you want to look pretty and shit.
Mm-mm.
You can do that shit at home. I
He
guarantee you,
got
my
he
feet
got booty
and
fingers,
nails and
y'all.
stuff look better
He
than
got
most
booty
women.
fingers.
I take care of myself.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You ain't
Oh,
What
I
gotta
type?
don't
believe
What's
think
me.
your
this one is
skincare
for you, Lynn.
routine?
No, Lynn. He said he want to be little spoon. He want to get grabbed from the back. I think Mia got him. He want that strap from the back.
Well, yeah, I want a woman to grab me from the back.
Now I be knowing you could hear it
I
in
want
their
a
voice.
woman's I want a woman's embrace. I like that feminine energy from a woman.
He
Spell
want to be
spell
a
for me.
bad bitch.
That motherly love.
Damn. Also, the
He
woman who
looking
touched
for
you
a
was your mama.
mama.
That's crazy.
He want a woman who will mother him. Ew.
Yeah,
Hey, how you doing?
my mama hug me. My mama kiss me. She loved her son.
You got some issues. You need to separate those things. Y'all
I
are
got
so
mommy
weird.
issues.
You
I
got a
got
lot of
woman
issues.
issues.
It ain't just mama. But anyway, what's anybody else talking about?
Y'all finished or are y'all done?
Oh, this is walking red flag. That dominating thing is so weird. They don't dominate nothing, but they swear they so dominating. It'd be hilarious. I'm on the phone, mom.
Therapy don't work. If women, most women that go to therapy with their spouse, they don't go anymore because they actually have to work on their issues. They realize they're the problem. The therapist tells you that you're the problem. You got a lot of issues that you have to work on, and y'all don't work on that. When y'all gonna heal? That's the real question. When are women are going to heal?
What is
Do you
healing?
need
What's
a man
healing
to
look
heal
like?
you?
Tell us how you healed. What
Do
does
you need a
healing look
man to
like?
heal you?
No, tell us what it is. What does it look like? What does healing look like?
Every day, you have to put time into your issues that you have with yourself. Get the negative talk that I can't do it out of your head. Every time you see yourself thinking like that,
A
think the
motivational
opposite. You
speaker.
have to
Is he
be.
trying to motivate us?
I ain't trying to motivate you. I'm just giving you a little piece of wisdom. I ain't get no pussy yet, and I'm out here giving wisdom. You should be grateful.
Girl,
I think
nobody, his
that you
mama
get
didn't listen to him when he was a child. That's what's wrong.
that's the exchange. That's what you get when you give wisdom. You get kuda. That's what happens. Y'all are so stupid.
Yes, I think that's an equal exchange.
Men are
What
so stupid.
No.
wisdom? Well, I don't think that's an
Oh,
equal exchange.
hold on, Mia.
It's like I'm getting a drug and
I can use my
you get
southern
life changing
saying,
advice.
sir, sir. You don't
Ma'am,
have the sense that God gave a goose. Please shut up.
Not a bit of sense. Something
Ain't got
wrong.
no sense.
Y'all, something
I ain't got
wrong
no
with
sense, so you
him.
just don't like what I'm saying.
No, he really sick. Y'all, he literally is saying, I'm giving wisdom and I ain't got no coochie.
Yeah,
These
women
men
ain't
are,
safe. Women not safe. He about to take that shit.
I'm gonna go
He
I'm
a
to
telling you right
pastor.
now. He about to take it and he going to jail. Keep telling y'all, call the police. He gonna take it, and that's the next your next fucking stop. It's gonna be the
Police.
last coochie you get.
But it's saying so much about how when we talk to black men and they do not have any resources, they do not have the things that would allow them what they see the YT man has within a relationship dynamic with the woman. So they really think that their providing is them giving us advice. Like
Hmm.
they think that them giving us wisdom is worthy of them having our submission and us. They want to be PIMPs. It's
Well,
the
this is
it's
what
the
they
it's the
have.
pimparchy.
He
What
did.
this
He
is
said as
what
soon
Uh,
as
they
he came
have.
up here, he said, "I'm gonna tell you how to
me,
act." He said that as soon as he came up.
It'd be the most
y'all
basic.
need
Oh, girl,
order,
I
man.
know.
Y'all need
Cutie.
order. Y'all need
Yes.
structure. Y'all need that. It's nothing. It's nothing wrong with that.
Your daddy needed
It'd
Um,
be the
order
most
before
basic
he
you
went and
say you
option.
had
say you want to be
Everybody
relations with your
pimped.
knows that they
mama.
Y'all
are
want to
not
be
even living.
if men want to be pimped, y'all want to be pimped out.
Mm-hmm. You right. Now shut up.
All
Whatever,
right,
man. Shut up.
as
It'd
long
be
as
the
you know.
most basic information that they're not even living and they don't know. And they think that it's worthy of cat, like the most valuable thing around. And then and they don't
That
got
shit
no
ain't
wisdom.
valuable.
Don't got nothing. And like it'd be funny because some of them like they'll have a little bit together. A little bit. They do some day trading. They own a house. He makes 60,000. And they think they the man and they gonna tell you everything, woman. And it'd be like, y'all so y'all so useless. We laugh at you.
Summer,
So
that's why have you
what
they
do
be
y'all
so
value?
happy
What
to
do y'all
tell
value
you
about a
that
man?
they know anything. They'd be so happy to tell you that they know
Yeah.
anything, like
Yeah.
anything. They'd be like, yeah, I plant tomatoes and let me tell you about how tomatoes grow. Because they don't go good during the summer. Tomatoes are winter
Meanwhile,
fruit. And did you know tomatoes were fruit? Like, sir, shut up. Don't nobody care
but
about tomatoes.
Meanwhile, you'll have introduced yourself as a botanist, okay? Or a master gardener. And then they will sit down and explain you the most basic shit about tomatoes. And you'll be like, I'm a tomato expert. What do you talk about? And they just automatically think they're smart, automatically think they're
He
valuable,
gonna crash
automatically
out
think they
on
know
you.
everything.
You don't know about heirloom tomatoes.
Exactly. You see, this, you got the white man's book learning. See, you think you understand, but see, I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to talk to a man, treat a man. Man, fuck a man. That's what I say.
Fuck a man.
Fuck a
It's
man.
crazy, man.
I don't care what
So
the
you
man
don't
say.
value men
I
at
bet
all?
you grow heirloom tomatoes like you grow grape tomatoes. And did you know
No
grape and
red,
cherry tomatoes are two
no
different types of
red,
tomatoes?
You don't hold up. You don't
red.
value men.
No, you get no value based on what's between your legs.
I didn't
No
say anything
fucking
about
no fuck.
that.
You said man.
I
We don't
know. I
give a
said,
fuck
what
that
do
you're a
you
man.
value
We
about a
value
man?
good people. You get
Yeah.
nothing just because you're a man and you walk in the room. It's fuck you too. Nobody gets it. But you don't
No.
have no value
What do
outside of
you
that
value
because I
about a
was born
man,
a
though?
man.
What
So
do you
anyway,
do?
like
You
you said,
appreciate
Summer,
men in
we
any
don't do it.
capacity?
Anyway, we have nothing to value if you are a man. If you are a person, bring some shit that you actually have that's intrinsically valuable. No, you get nothing for being born a man. Absolutely not. That's your fucking problem. That's why you have nothing because you sit around here whining and crying that nobody gave you nothing. They don't recognize I'm a man. It don't work that way. Find some fucking value that has nothing to do
Men,
with your
Dark
fucking
horse, check
balls.
it,
men are
check
born with
Discord,
value.
Summer
Men
and
are
Dark
born
horse.
with value. As
Um,
soon as they are
What'd
born,
you say, Lynn?
they have
check
What'd you
value.
say,
check
Lynn?
Discord, y'all.
I
And
see.
then they get more value on
Um,
top of that when they establish
I just
tangible things that they can give and how they walk through
so
life. All that wisdom and learning and creating themselves, that's the value that men have. Now, if you don't value that, that's a you problem. You don't your perspective.
okay. Back to the
No, I
tomato
don't.
Your
conversation.
perspective is fucked
These
up as
men,
fuck.
they really do be thinking that they
Oh
know
my
how to
god! And
grow
women think
something,
they
they
know it
know
all.
how
You
to
can't
do
tell. You can't
something,
tell a woman nothing.
and then hold
They walk
on.
around. They walk around with STDs, thinking.
Okay, that's good. We do. You're right.
Where
Anyways,
we get them?
back to the conversation. Um, I just, yeah, it would just behoove people to not listen to nonsense.
You don't bring shit to the table.
You're right. I don't bring anything to the table. You're right.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's funny though when people, because the way they act like that is because they know they don't have anything to offer. They don't have any value. If he doesn't tell us a basic truth about nothing and just word salad of BS, what else do they have to say? He don't know nothing. He young. He
It
really
only
don't.
sound like
They get up
BS
here. They get
because
up
you
here
don't
and they
want to hear
try
it.
to sound important, try to sound wanted, needed, valued, and really want our validation. Then when we talk about the other, how weird it is, they can be in rooms and men be crashing out because they still want our validation. It's weird. Like, yeah, just like adolescence, it's really weird. What's wrong with y'all? You don't
Yeah,
respect us, but you want us to validate you.
that
Weird.
is crazy, Summer. It
I
is
don't want nothing
crazy.
from.
I don't know where the ego would tell you to keep like, you know, trying to vie for someone's validation that you don't even like or respect. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like cognitive dissonance. It's crazy.
Hmm. Hmm. You hate us, so go
You
ahead
don't
and
know what
hate
that
us.
word means.
Go ahead and hate us if you hate us. We don't care.
I don't hate y'all.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Have y'all ever tried that what is it called? It's the on the rocks drink.
Mm-mm.
It has a strong amount of alcohol, y'all. It's like 20% alcohol. It's crazy. I like it.
Mm-mm. Avoiding alcohol would keep me young. Not that it matter. I might as well just look old because I don't
It
care what
come with like
nobody
a
says to me.
what's it called, a corkscrew top?
No, I come with a cork top.
Yeah, I've had
It's
the
good though. They got a jalapeno. They got a jalapeno margarita flavor. I'm cleaning them. Yeah, I'm making some sandwiches for lunch today, y'all. I'm excited about that.
Thank you, Lynn. Make sure you just feed you.
What I tell
Oh, thank you,
y'all?
Lynn. You did. Thank you, Lynn. Look at you winning. I love
I
it.
knew he wanted attention. He wanted somebody to argue with. So we won because you dropped.
He got tired. He said, I can't do it. Forget it.
He wasn't siphoning energy anymore. Once he stopped being able to siphon our energy, he gave up. So we
Because they're
won.
You go
vampires.
find somebody else to harass her.
Because they are vampires. They
Loser.
just be doing
Is that him at the
vampiric stuff
door?
all the time.
Mhm. I
Look
don't
at
know.
him coming back.
Oh, because
Look at him
I want to
coming back.
talk. Talk
How we
now. I
able
want to
to
talk
play with your
now.
emotions like
So
that,
crazy.
sir?
I want to talk now. I want to talk. No, no, go find somebody else to harass. I want to talk now. I want to
Let's
hear
see
no
how
more
long the
bullshit.
energy vampire stays at the door, y'all.
Go talk to yourself. Go talk to
He don't
yourself
got
for a while.
anything
That'll be fun.
interesting to say. Mm, it looks like Pepto Bismol. He wants some attention real bad, and he said women need men, and he at the door begging to come up now. Look at you, big baby. He ain't got no friends. Hello, Tink Tink. Sir,
We
I
need him,
advise
y'all.
you
We
to go
need him.
find someone who gives a fuck about you.
No, don't, and not a woman, and not a woman, because he talk about hitting women. So please don't find no woman. Stay away.
That is so funny. He dropped because we wasn't giving him attention. He crashed out because he didn't get attention, and now he trying to come back up. You funny loser.
That's what it is. Do you guys know what men want? You know how to talk to men? We know. You just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and tell people what to do. No, thank you. That's what we get all day long. Over talking, threats of
You don't know how
violence,
to. You don't know how to
threats to
treat a man.
control. Come
Do you
on
know how
now.
to talk to a man?
You don't talk to them. You just got to shut up.
Dang, I need.
And you can really do that with a plant. You don't have to have a woman. You could talk to the walls. You could talk to plants. You could talk to yourself. I don't understand why we have to be involved in this nonsensical conversation. You can leave us out of it. Damn, it's funny. Diary entries crazy.
Moesha, dear diary. This week, the mean girls on TikTok wouldn't let me stay up there and explain how to talk to a man. I'm gonna get them bees.
Thank you, Lady Q. But this is the very definition of stay safe. When people say stay safe, that's what they mean. Stay safe. Stay on TikTok. Stay away. Because if you get within arm's reach, you're gonna be doing more than grabbing your purse. He trying to grab you.
That was so funny. See how he did what I wanted him to do? So I do know how to deal with men.
That was great, Lord. Hold on, y'all. We got action. Ooh. But yeah, I was trying to tell y'all he was trying to get attention. That'd be scary. They be like, who is that? I think Dark Horse was the one who be saying we be babysitting them. Or whatever you said we be doing with they women.
This is called adult men's daycare. It's men's daycare, and we got to start charging at the door when they want to come in because everybody else in his life has said they don't want to be bothered with him. So you come on TikTok. There needs to be a per hour charge, surcharge, and the ladies can cash app us because they know they fucking headaches, and they let these men off the leash. They come over here and sit and harass. You gotta
In
start
his,
charging for that.
in his case, it was his mama. We babysitting him
hmm
for.
hmm
Cause
She
I
don't
know.
want him there no more either. She don't want him there anymore either. You gotta start making it our problem though. You gotta start making it a community problem.
That's what I'm saying. Hell no. We ain't about to be her.
Tara gave us an extension. She told us about 40 minutes ago that she had met all her points on this prompt, but she gave us an extension. I appreciate the extension. You did. She definitely extended the time on the live.
Cause we need we need to see some of it. I mean, sometimes we gotta let these fools get to talking. Um, I was telling Lynn, I was telling Lynn that we was talking about. I had wanted to talk about something, but now my niece done came over, so I gotta wait until they leave. They not gonna be staying too long, I don't think. But
I want to talk about, because I mean we just witnessed it, because I was telling Lynn when we was talking about like how men want our emotional, like they want to extract emotional labor out of us, whatever that look like. That like emotional they want emotional attention, or they want to try to invoke emotion. And we seen it when he started trying to talk about him being molested by some woman, after he was talking about all that, after he was being so deplorable, so monstrous, then he want to try to get us to feel something for him. And then as he stayed up here, and wanting just our attention and affection, that is something that's common. Like they a lot of it be about attention, and trying to make us, they want us to make them feel like men. They want us to make them feel human and whole. And they don't appreciate it, right? It ain't about appreciation. It's about their ability to do that, to get an emotional reaction out of us, is what fuels them. It's what like gives them some points. I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie with Justin Timberlake, Time. That's how they be coming to us. They be sourcing that, like we give them time. Like they clock me about to run out, and then boom, they come fucking with some women, and then they get they time boosted back up, and they get the bond with other men. They don't care if it's a strange man, what it is. They need something. They need to feel something. Um, and this has been studied through like incarcerated men, where like people wonder why they do certain things, like why they be screaming and throwing feces, and trying to get into altercations with the staff, so that they can use force to calm them down. Sometimes the reason why they do that, especially if they're in solitary, is so that they can feel human. Like they need to feel pain so they can feel like something is going on. And I think in many variations, we see that with these men who come into these spaces, not contributing to the conversation, just trying to extract something from us because they don't have none. They fucking vampires.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't
And
know.
they like violence. No, Lynn. Tara said that too. That's why she said Heartbreak had to apologize. But it's, I want to go off on somebody. I want to yell at somebody. I want to cuss them out, call them out their name, or what have you. Even if that person isn't the one that I need to give their energy to, if they have it in a system where they can't give their energy to who they want to give it to, they're gonna give it to whoever's around and will take it, or what have you. And they're looking for victims. They're looking for people to victimize, and saying, who can I put this on? I want to get it off of me, and I want to put it on you. So that's what it is, especially if it's just a conversation online with people you don't know, right? So that anger and stuff, I didn't start you up this morning with that anger. You came in with it already. But yeah, they're definitely looking to dump that negative energy somewhere. And if sometimes engaged, and they're like, yes, I do feel like something, but that's trauma. That's trauma. To be like, to be cussed out, and to keep saying things until you get a cuss out from somebody. That's trauma. That's how you were told that you matter and you're important. That's the only way you got attention. And if the only way you get attention is through trauma and through violence and through somebody cussing you out, that's what you're gonna keep it doing, even as an adult.
They can't hold it and they can't process it. So you can tell like a lot of men have these, a lot of people in general, but especially men don't have this ability, because women are expected to be dumped on and dump the trauma on us. A lot of women can't process it either. That's why it makes us sick and causes all these issues. But back to that movie Adolescence. The wife, the mama, and the daughter are just dumped on this trauma. We never hear much of them
Ziggy.
processing it. We never see any of that. It's always about the daddy and the son. It's all about them. And so they do that a lot too. They get in the bed, like you're saying, and they got to just dump it on somebody. If they could just breathe, if they could journal, if they could process it, if they could talk to each other, if they should get it out a different way, it would lower the violence rate and the femicide hugely.
I agree. And I agree with him. It's an energy transferring. Like they have to transfer the energy to us, the
Yeah.
negativity.
Yeah. I have a friend in an abusive relationship, and she says she can tell when it's about to start again, um, because she can tell he's upset and he can't do anything about it. And then he goes to the gym a little bit, whatever, and then he comes back, and in the middle of the night, he's screaming and yelling at her. He cannot process it himself. And I'm like, and then after he's abusive to her, scream, yell, keep her up, whatever, all the stuff, he feels fine. He walk around like everything's fine. That's sick.
Oh, and it's so scary. I think that's why people need to read that book. Why does he do that? That shit is important, and because it's not just about relationships. Well, I'm y'all know it's not, but the way these men. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I don't know if y'all heard me, but
I couldn't. Now we can.
Yeah, say it
um,
again.
that's why I think a lot of women, more women should read. Why does he do that? I just think it just sheds a light. It just sheds a light. It's crazy. Like this shit diabolical. The behaviors, the gaslighting, the way that they try to the way that they want to say and do deplorable things but then still be seen as honorable and good is crazy. And I don't know. I think that I don't know the propaganda and how we are, like the things that help socialize us that stuck with us is crazy too. Because I was thinking about how and Tara ain't paying attention, but I'm not gonna spoil Sinners. I know I love spoiling stuff, but with that movie, along with a lot of other movies, the one thing I've starting to recognize is how within the black community there is this need to see black men doing criminal, deplorable things, and then giving them humanity and saying that, but they're good, and it's and this other being is the worst thing. Like this other outside source is the worst possible thing to us. Like these YT men with hoods and capes are like they're the monsters. This YT man is the monster whilst they're doing these horrible things, and it's supposed to be it's supposed to have us in this cycle of mistrusting the system. Not to say that we should or shouldn't, but trusting the the very people who are going to be the closest to us to hurt us with no responsibility. It's a reason. It's a reason why they get to be deplorable, and it's a reason why we can't pay attention to it. So I don't know. I don't know. I might be pushing it too. No, I ain't. I'm gonna stick beside me. I'm right. I promise y'all, I'm right.
No, you're absolutely right. Because if there's that monster in your home where you see he's getting upset, oh, let's go back to adolescence. Okay,
Oh,
the
that's too.
movie
Ooh,
Adolescence.
that's a good one
The
too. That opened up the races. Thank you, Summer.
if the daddy is violent and angry because he was abused as a child. He's never healed from all of that. He didn't abuse his son, but he's violent and angry. And one time he tore the shed apart in a fit of anger and violence, right? And that's not supposed to be an effect. That's supposed to be just fine. The wife is clearly on edge and trying to calm him down and scared when he freaking out and whatever. But I just can't get over the way in adolescence, none of it was about the mother's feelings or her going through any of this. And notice nobody said about that boy. Trigger. Sorry, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but nobody said about that little boy. My son couldn't do this. He's got this kind of harder character. Nobody said that. They were surprised. He's only 13. But it seems like if your son was accused of that, you really thought he didn't do it, you'd be like, he's so sweet. He's sweet to animals. He's such a sweet boy. Right? Nobody said that because they knew that boy was a monster, and they knew that daddy was a monster. He's just not supposed to be that bad, I guess, because he only tore up the shed. But that is violent and that
But
is emotional
yeah,
abuse, and that makes her uncomfortable in her own home. And she has to walk on eggshells.
yeah, it's a demonstration. So when someone is destroying property in your vicinity, it's still the same thing. It's just like the infants when you bring a doll and you smack the doll and then reach for the baby and the baby recoils like, I just seen you hit that doll. You're not going to hit me. And it's instinctive. Same thing. They're destroying property, whether you're punching the door or a wall or throwing stuff. It's the same level of violence. They're still letting you know, I want you to see my capacity for violence. It is meant to still put you in the same fear, still to get you to submit, still get you to cower because it's the same effect. So people are thinking, well, they didn't hit me. Okay, he's telling you and he's showing you that demonstration was for you. It was to put that fear in there. So that's why whether you're hitting a person or hitting a wall or what have you, we still call it violence, right? It's not only one type. It's the same thing to me.
It is, and then they use it like there was this lady in the comments I was reading about, and she was saying her upset him. That's when he would sit at the table clean. And when a man is, if he punching the wall or breaking the table or whatever, and he's like, "I didn't hit you. I don't hit you." He's gonna bring it up later though, like any other man would hit you for what you did. I'm such a good man because I'm restraining myself. I only hit the wall, and that is terrorism. That person is terrorizing you in your household, and you should leave. And it is dangerous. Ain't nobody talking, right? My Wi-Fi is iffy.
No, it's quiet right now. I think we done put Tara to sleep.
Yep, sleep
And I
hold.
think
Press
Drika
the
was going
wall
in
and
and
then
out.
sleep. Yeah, it's the wall and then it's you. Yep. I dated one man way back in the day in my 20s, and he got mad and hit the table real hard. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'll get upset with you. I was like, no, I know what you're trying to do. The other thing is when they want to play wrestle, they want to test out your strength and stuff. I'm like, these men are crazy. Gross.
We just got to make sure that we play fight with a cast iron pan.
Right?
Because I can beat you, but I just want you to understand that when you hit me with that, I'm gonna hit you with this, and I'm gonna get out and call the police. So I don't know if
My
you can
thing
take
is,
this smack to the head with this goddamn cast iron, but if you get up in my face, that's what happened. I'm getting the hell out.
my thing is this too. You're gonna sleep next to me. You're gonna trust me to make your food. You ought to
Audacity. That's audacity.
treat.
That's the audacity, Summer.
You really, I don't even have to come at your pan or be stronger than you. You're gonna go to sleep. Yeah, the audacity.
The
Do you understand my life? Your
audacity.
life is in my hands every day.
That's how I believe. That's how I know you really believe it.
Mm-mm-mm.
There's no way that you aren't indoctrinated, that you aren't programmed as a man, that you do something heinous and then go to sleep comfortably with a smile on your face, like comfortably. You have to believe it. So when
Because
I
of
be thinking,
emotional
no, he
abuse.
really don't believe that. No, they actually believe that shit. They truly believe they're safe. They truly
Mm-mm.
believe that no one has, right, no one has the capacity for violence like I do. She ain't gonna do nothing about it. Like they
Mm-hmm.
really do. I'm trying to tell you.
It's
That's
because of
why
the
divorces
abuse.
were
When they've
made. No.
abused you,
Mhm.
when they've abused you that way, they've broken down your self-esteem. So if for months and years they've been telling you and breaking you down and cutting you off from family and messing up your money and doing, they really think you're stuck. What you don't understand is just like slavery, you never know when there's going to be a rebellion. You never know we're going to burn the house down. You never know. Like, so, and it
Please
happens a
believe
lot
me.
more than they report. Yep.
Yeah, that's why we got a chance to divorce. Everybody didn't go
Yep.
off to get a job in another city like they
Mm.
reported. He said he was going to look for a job somewhere else and he never came back. That man outside in the backyard. They've
Yeah,
been letting
they
these
used to
women
just
get out of
unalive
here.
them.
Hmm.
They just
Everybody
unalive them
didn't
men.
go unalive in the war. Everybody didn't run off with another woman. Mm-mm. No woman got him. All us got. It's just us and the kids. All of us. He ain't
All of
out
us
here for
got the
nobody.
prince reach. It's that's the wildest part to me because I feel like you could probably okay say I was abused for many many years. I can't believe that you really think that you're safe. You're safe next to me. That's crazy. One day I don't care if you're 85. One day I'm gonna get you. I am gonna get you. You can't be hitting me, doing stuff to me, and I ain't gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. But that's just me. I don't know.
That's human nature, love. Human nature. Human nature. Some fuses are short, some fuses are a little longer. But we all have a fuse.
Yeah. I'm a Taurus. My fuse is actually pretty long.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm a Taurus. I'm gonna get real mad. I'm gonna blow it all up, but it takes a lot for me to get there. It takes me a while. I don't do it immediately. But yeah,
I know I got some people I be wanting to kidnap. Women, I mean, not men. Be more specific.
I
Some
can't hear
people.
nothing. I'm gonna drop down.
Dang it. Summer gone.
The signal's done.
Mia gone. Only Lynn is left. Terry, you sleep? I think we done lost the host. We done lost the panel, y'all.
I'm still here. I'm getting ready for
Let me
work.
see if that fixes the signal. No, it's just messed up. All right, I'll go, y'all. My signal gone.
I'm just getting ready for work.
Oh, okay. I think Summer said her Wi-Fi was acting up. She had to drop down.
Yeah. Where Tara?
I think she gone. I think she sleep.
What?
Oh. We can we're gonna turn off these comments in the middle in a minute.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, Miss Paula, I had my fair. I crashed out enough today. I only had one crash out in me per day. Sorry, I hogged the mic too because I know y'all wanted to crash out on them. I was like, dang, I was conscious too, so y'all forgive me. Hold me accountable. Dark.
No, I gave it a blessing before you came in and followed up. I got her riled up.
I was like, dang, I'm hogging the mic.
Mm-mm. You
Yep.
had the patience to go back and forth and ask questions. I'm horrible about asking questions. I ain't ask her shit. I just start going in. Lynn, how do you end the live when the host go to sleep?
We gotta cut the comments.
I don't know how to do that. Y'all, I'm trying to wrap it up for Tara so she can come back on later, maybe after her great nap. Then you have to do the comment part.
There we go. Yeah, with the inactivity, the live naturally going. Get your thing over here.
Hmm.
I said the live gonna end due to inactivity.
Okay, gotcha. That's what the comments do. Okay.
Yep. And Tara on mute, perfect.
Come on, relax your neck.
All right, I'm gonna drop down. I'll see you on the back end.
Bye.